We are live. First episode, Line Chasers Podcast. Official sponsor of DraftKings and Miller Lite.
Hopefully 2 future sponsors.
Hopefully 2 future sponsors.
That'd be electric.
You gotta start somewhere. This is gonna be a sports betting podcast, and basically rundown. We're gonna go through each game, Thursday through Monday, placing 1 to 3 unit bets on bets we like. All 6 of us will chime in. We're gonna track the units, and at the end of the year, we're gonna see who's the best. Loser has to watch Super Bowl in a dog cage. We got Hunter Anderson in my top left.
Yeah, here we are.
Travel plumber. Brant Profit, the Chicago native.
Former freshman year undefeated quarterback.
Tony Finster, the professional sports bettor and analyst of the group. Long
Hello,
time.
everyone.
The only 2-time winner at the Circa. Corey Lynch, the mayor of Miamisburg's son. That's really all he's got going for him. Luke, the official sponsor of Amazon and the only delivery driver that I know. So that's
former
it.
business major.
All of us are former business majors.
Former business major. This is the Line
UC
Chasers
grad.
pod. We're gonna be every Wednesday and Thursday, Tuesday. We're gonna try to get one of these out. Keep it between 30 minutes to an hour. We'll just kind of see where this comes in. Probably gonna be leaning more towards an hour with all the rambling. And then every Sunday, we're going to try to do reaction videos every Sunday to all the games and all the surprises and bets that we had throughout the week. So, just to jump right into it, first game of the week, Baltimore Ravens on the road at the Kansas City Chiefs. Line sitting at -3, shaded to Baltimore -118. Over-under 46.5, shaded to the under -112. Hunter, go ahead and start us off.
Okay. I have flip-flopped on this game probably 6 times this week. Was Ravens all the way. Obviously not a huge Chiefs fan as a Patriots fan. But final lock, or final bet, this is going to be a 1 unit for me. I'm going to lock in Chiefs -2.5. I'm going to buy it down half a point, eat it at -120. And then the main thing I have with this, obviously Chiefs coming off back-to-back here. I don't think after last season, after the Lions come in to Arrowhead and beat them outright, I don't think Andy Reid or Mahomes is going to let that happen again. Mahomes is 3-1 against games against Lamar Jackson, and 73% of the money bet in this game is actually on Ravens spread.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Or 73% of the game is on Ravens, 55% of that being on their spread. So once again, I think it's just going to be a tone setter for the Chiefs to hopefully work their way on a three-peat.
Any prop bets?
No, if there is one, it's going to be Mahomes over on passing, which I do not have in front of me. Whatever that number is, I am leaning it. I'm not going to say I'm going to bet it. It looks like it's around that 262.5 marker. And I would lean that. But other than that, I think I'm just going to be sticking straight to the spread on this one.
Luke, Brant, you guys got anything to add on that?
I don't feel super strong about this game. I wanted to point out to you guys, though, that in the AFC Championship game last year, the spread was Ravens -4.5.
Yep. Big line
so that's
move.
a huge move.
Mm-hmm.
And also that the Chiefs played in the season opener game last year and lost in a close one to Detroit.
Yeah, I got a little more extra just on the Ravens this year. So in the season, Lamar Jackson throwing a pick into triple coverage just completely.
Hey, chill out.
He
chill
could not
out.
figure out that Chiefs defense whatsoever. It's just a thing that happens every year with Lamar in the playoffs. They swallow him up and he has to throw and he can't do it. Also, I don't know why this is me talking about with everyone just picking the Ravens to win the AFC North outright for just off of last year's success.
Insane.
Losing the best defensive coordinator in the NFL to
Yep.
a head coach, he completely changed their defense. Their defense was getting dog walked by Burrow every single game 2 years ago. He comes in and completely fixes it. Best unit in the league. On top of that, they lose Patrick Queen to Steelers inside the division. They lose, good Lord, safety to the Bengals.
Stone.
Kill me.
Geno Stone.
Geno Stone. There we go.
Give it to him, Corey. Give it to him.
Yep. They also completely turned over their offensive line.
They did.
In the offseason. I mean, all that with the Ravens and then the Chiefs coming off of back-to-back chips. All that being said, I think it's pretty obvious that we have to take Ravens +3 here. It's the easy money.
Oh, that's so gross.
Fantastic.
That's so gross.
They're going to come in there to Arrowhead. Lamar, all those guys remember what happened in the AFC Championship game. This isn't the playoffs. Lamar's going to rush for 75+. They're going to win the game.
So is that a unit bet? Is that a unit bet?
Unit bet on Ravens +3. I'm taking the points. Ravens +3.
Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. One thing I'd like to also add too. People are forgetting this is, especially with the addition of Xavier Worthy here, this is the best wide receiving core Mahomes has had since Tyreek Hill left, and there's no debate about that. Rashee Rice is 100% healthy. He's not going to get the suspension.
Hollywood out week 1.
Hollywood out week 1, which Xavier Worthy is going to fill those shoes just fine. We forget about Travis Kelce. Also, Isaiah Pacheco is going to get more workload than he ever did. I guess you could say.
CEH is out. Samaje
Middle airness.
P. Ryan is going to play that McKinnon type role, but that's also my thoughts too.
Corey, Fenster, anything to tag in on this?
You can go ahead, Tony, if you want, but I have a lot of opinions on this, so you can go.
The best thing about this game is that these two teams just played in January, so we kind of get a little bit of how they're going to play each other. The biggest thing was that Travis Kelce had a big game with 11 receptions, 116 yards, and this game ended in a doozy. Yeah, and ended in a doozy, 17-10, obviously hitting the under. I think that over-under was on 45.5 too.
46.5, shaded to the under.
Do you guys remember though if this game was this a weather game? Was it raining that game?
It was in Baltimore.
Was it not?
It was in Baltimore.
It was in Baltimore.
It was
chilly. It was chilly, clear skies.
Lil nipply.
Yeah. I don't have an official play on this game. I like Xavier Worthy's yards at 46.5.
I saw that. That's actually
because
ticked
it's
up.
Just
that could be two. That could be legitimately 2 catches for this guy. Let's see if they use him in the Tyreek Hill role that they did a few years ago.
So no official plays, no unit bets.
No official plays. I lean towards the under though.
Okay.
I think both defenses are very good. Spagnuolo obviously gives Lamar Jackson a lot of trouble.
I would disagree. I think the Ravens defense takes a step back this year. That's just my opinion. Corey,
I also leave for the under.
They are losing a lot of guys here.
You want to go on your opinion, Corey? You got anything for us? Yes.
All right.
We're ready.
I have a few things here. As everybody knows, not you guys, but I am the biggest Lamar hater to ever walk this earth. I think he is the most overrated MVP to ever live in the NFL.
Two-time. Put some respect on his name. Thank you.
NFL. However, I love the Ravens +3.
This Corey know the AFC North. I mean, it's really this simple.
This is going to be a classic. When we get to Week 18, we look at the MVP voters and we see, oh, Lamar had a great game against the Chiefs in Week 1. However, he fell off like a motherfucker, like he does every single year. However, we're going to look back to the Chiefs. No matter what, he had a great game. Give me Ravens +3. Give me the Ravens to carry Lamar, their defense to carry Lamar like they have the past 4 years he's been in the league. Give me the under. Give me the Ravens. I'll take that. And then next week, I believe they play Las Vegas, and I believe the opening line right now is like Ravens -7. Once they win against the Chiefs, that line will be like Ravens -10. Give me Las Vegas next week. This is me
sharper than
giving you a pick now and forecasting a pick next week. Give me the Ravens plus. Give me the Ravens plus.
Is that a 1 unit bet on the Ravens? Remember, you got it. Units. Say units. Units.
1 unit bet on under 46
and a half.
Give me 46.5. Give me if the Ravens win outright, only if they win outright. Give me the Raiders, whatever their opening spread is on Monday next week.
Is that all you got? Is that all you got, Corey?
Other than Lamar being the most overrated quarterback to ever live.
Okay, thank you. Now it's time for the real pick here. So, Daddy's going to go ahead 1 unit Chiefs -2.5, -120. It's very simple here. Ravens lose Mike McDonald to Seattle. Huge loss for them defensively. They take a step back this year, no doubt about it. They're just softer in that area. And then Chiefs take a step forward offensively, drafting Worthy with their first overall pick. Brown getting signed, keeping the team together. They lose L'Jarius Sneed on the back end, but they obviously have depth there and a great defensive coach. Wouldn't be surprised if Chiefs get back to their 2018 days and really just start lighting them up.
Really probably going to stretch the field this year.
They very much are. So I'm expecting a big game from the Chiefs. 1 unit bet on -2.5. And then a player prop, which I'm shocked you all missed. Derrick Henry, anytime TD, -120, 1 unit play for me. A lot of hype around Derrick Henry this year, and I'm on board. This has a lot of potential, and this is probably the best price we're going to see on this bet the whole year. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown score, -120. He's going to score Thursday night, and watch this bet go -200, maybe 220 next week. Guaranteed. Moving on to next week. Packers on the road, technically. This is a Brazil game. Packers, Eagles in Brazil for some reason. Nobody knows why. Eagles.
Real football.
Right? We're trying to make this the National Football League. Eagles -2.5. Whatever. Eagles -2.5. Shaded to the 2.5. -112. Over under 48.5. -110 both ways. Luke, go ahead and start us out on this one. What do you got?
I'm going to let some other people talk more about this. My one thing I've got here is everyone's sour on the Eagles from last year. Everybody's loving the hype. Jordan Love MVP. Packers to win the NFC. I think this is just simple. Fade both those. We're back on the Eagles. Get off the Packers. We're taking Eagles -2.5, 1 unit, and we're going over. I don't know if I even like the over, but when I see those two teams in my head, I'm thinking points. We're slinging the ball around. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith out there, going deep. The 4 receivers for the Packers, running it up in Brazil on the soccer stadium. Let's get some points out. That's all.
Can I have one thing real quick? I have one
Yes.
thing on this game. How much of the Eagles' defense being shitty last year do you guys think was Matt Patricia's fault for just
100%.
A lot.
Actually, 1,000,000%.
And now they have Vic Fangio, who's one of the best DCs in the entire league. That's why this is just completely vibes pick. This is just 2 uniforms I see. We're on a soccer field. Points. It's all complete vibes there.
This to me is one of my favorite games of the week. First off, Friday Night Football. Can't beat it week 1. We're in Brazil. Hopefully the team buses make it to the actual stadium. We will see about that. But to throw a little wrench here, I'm completely against Luke here on this over. I will be putting 1 unit on under 50.5, raising it up to -133. People are forgetting
buying
here.
2 points?
I am.
Okay.
I am buying 2 points. First off, just a shout out Boston College real quick. Big game against Florida State. They actually brought in Jeff Hafley, Boston College's former coach, as the Packers' new defensive coordinator. And we're also forgetting that on top of Jair Alexander, they brought in Xavier McKinney, which I think is going to be a huge addition to that secondary. While they're doing that, they also switch from a 3-4 scheme into a 4-3, utilizing guys like Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary. I think Saquon is not going to have a field day as he should. And then obviously you made a good point. Eagles defense ranking 26th in total defense last year. Don't buy it. As a Patriots fan, I saw what Matt Patricia can do to a team, and I think he did that last year. Look to see Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter absolutely stuffing Josh Jacobs up the middle with no help. And I love it. I see this game finishing 23-17. I will not be leaning anywhere, and I am going under 50.5.
Finster, Corey?
Go ahead, Corey.
All right. I don't have too many thoughts about this game. However, I do really like the Eagles in this game. I'm not throwing a bet on this. However, I just want to have fun on Friday night, honestly. I want to have some drinks. I want to have fun watching football. I'll take the over just as a vibes play.
Yep,
you know,
it's the
Is that a 1 unit bet?
That's a lean.
Yeah, we'll go 1 unit on it because I'm gonna make so much money on Thursday night.
At Good Time Charlie's.
Yeah, I'm gonna make so much money on Thursday night, making all of this, and then we throw 1 unit on over 48. Hopefully that hits. However, I will say I do like the Packers defense a little bit more. We're moving on from Joe Barry. Joe Barry was Packers fans. You're with me here. Joe Barry was fucking terrible, and this is coming from a Steelers fan doesn't know much about the Packers. Joe Barry's terrible. You bring in what? Ohio
Jeff
State.
Hapley. No,
Yeah,
he was
Hapley.
Ohio
Didn't the
State
Packers
defensive
Ohio
beat the
State,
coordinator.
Ohio State, then Boston College, correct?
Yes,
Is that
exactly.
right?
That's
Yeah,
why we got the
bringing
shout
him,
out.
we'll see how he does as a defensive coordinator there. However, if I were to pick a team, a spread, it would be Eagles. However, I'm not picking one. I'm picking the over just to have some fun on this game.
Finster?
Like it.
I'm definitely leaning more towards the Eagles. I think the Eagles are actually my Super Bowl pick this year. I think they get over the hump
Bing!
from 2 years ago when they almost won it. But my favorite pick of this game, and this is my first unit play of the week, is going to be Saquon Barkley. I don't know what Hunt was trying to say earlier. 64.5 rushing yards, taking the over here. Listen, this is the first time we've seen Saquon Barkley play against or actually have a good offensive line. He hit this line
True.
8 of 14 last year against the worst or with the worst offensive line of all time, probably
good
with all the
stat.
injuries they had. I don't know if you guys remember, but when they were introducing one of the offensive linemen last year, he literally said straight off the couch. So that's what Barkley had last year. Legitimately the worst offensive line of all time. He has a good one. This line's super low, 64.5. I'm going to take the over.
I love that, actually. And you stole my line. I also am going to back Eagles minus 2.5, 1 unit play for me. Brazil game. Eagles last season were an absolute fuck fest. This year, they definitely get back on track in a big way, and they are also my Super Bowl pick to start the season. So I'm on that train with you. You stole the words out of my mouth. I also lean to the over, as you both have hinted in different segments. Both teams have new defensive coordinators, and those games in the first game of the season typically are high scoring. Moving on. Patriots on the road at Cincinnati.
Oh, you got Brant for his.
No, Brant.
I just wanted to say,
sorry.
Spencer, put me down for Eagles minus 2.5.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me say one thing. Do we think Big Dom allows the Packers to beat the Eagles in Week 1? I don't think so.
No,
No, that's
chance.
actually
No
the
way.
attribute of the offseason.
Big Dom
No,
got a
no.
call.
No way Big Dom does that.
He got a call from Dom Toretto. He said, "This is Brazil." And
This
he's
is
not letting that
Brazil.
happen.
Nah, Big
You
Dom.
guys talk
Big
about the
Dom will not
defensive
allow that.
coordinators
He
a lot.
just-
No, he's the coach. Like he's their
He's the security
lead
guy.
security.
No, he got kicked off
He
the
got
field
promoted.
last year.
Yeah,
What
but he
game
got
was that
promoted.
against Eagles versus
Niners.
last year? He got kicked off the field. Remember the Big Dom, big
Yes.
Italian guy.
When the Niners spanked them.
But the thing is, now Big Dom has a spot in that Eagles coaching staff, and he is going to wreak havoc on the NFC.
Okay, moving on.
You guys, hang on, I got one more thing.
Okay.
You guys talk about the defensive coordinators a lot. Do you guys forget that Kellen Moore is now the OC for
So
the
much
Eagles?
success for that guy.
Yeah, did great.
No,
in
I
Los
just think
Angeles.
it-
But success. Nothing but
Great.
success for Kellen Moore.
Did
Most
great.
I think
overrated
Kellen Moore's
coach in the
very
history
overrated.
of the NFL.
I-
Just
I-
because he was the Cowboys OC, everyone knows his name. He has done nothing to instill any confidence in me that he knows how to run an offense. Sorry, Fitz.
He had a very rough year in San Diego or
He did.
LA now, but I think it's just gonna be interesting because he's a very progression based quarterback. So I think this is gonna settle down Jalen Hurts a lot in the offense.
I like that.
He likes to single out the reads and make it very simple for him. I think Jalen Hurts needs that.
Are we expecting less tush push?
I think so too. I think Barkley. I think they're gonna hand it off to him more on the
No Jason
five
Hill.
inside. So
Hurts can skill squat 400 pounds. So.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
all right, we can move on now.
Oklahoma Sooner.
Patriots on the road in Cincinnati, the shittiest stadium in the world, minus 8.5, minus 110 both sides, over under 40.5, minus 110 both sides. Let's go with the homer, Brant Profit. What do you got for me here?
I like Paycor Stadium because of where it's settled in the city. You have all those Banks bars right down there. You go to like some stadiums like in Nashville or whatever where the stadium's not even really in the city. Or like all the LA stadiums.
And New
you have
York.
the-
New York's
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah,
New
you can't
Jersey?
get anywhere.
They're in Jersey. Yeah.
I know.
But I just don't think that the Patriots are going to score any points. Like the Bengals' big weakness on defense is depth at defensive line and defensive tackle specifically. I don't really see Ramondre Stevenson punishing us up the
Put some
middle. of that
respect on
line.
his name, bro.
I'm playing the Bengals spread here. If Jamar plays or not, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's a
Minus
big
8.5
question mark.
1 unit, Brant.
Yeah, please.
Is there any word on this? Is Jamar practicing with the team this week? Or
Jefferson.
How about we
Jefferson
ask
just
the
did an interview.
How about we ask the Bengals specialist reporter, actually the beat reporter Luke Schultz. You got anything for us?
Yeah. Okay. Justin Jefferson was on KI's show today, and he said that he doesn't think that Jamar will let the contract situation get in the way of him doing, being a professional. So when he needs to be out there, he'll be out there. Is what Jed has said.
Jefferson know?
They're brothers,
Yeah.
all right. Listen, they know he knows he's closer to Jamar than.
LSU, baby.
Yeah, they're brothers. They know. He knows. All right. Jamar's gonna be out there. He doesn't need to practice. He's a dog. So I have this really simple here, guys. Patriots. I legitimately don't think they'll score this game. So I don't like touching the total because it's so low. So we're just gonna go alt spread. Bengals minus 16.5. You get that at plus 222. Just put a unit on it. This is first year that Bill B. I don't know if we're even making a big enough deal about this. I mean, you lost Tom a couple years ago. Now you're losing Bill B. Gerard Mayo's first season, not set up for success. This team is awful, and honestly, they want to be awful. The best player in this upcoming draft class is a left tackle, and that's what they need. And if they get the first overall pick in this draft, they can trade back, get the tackle, get a haul. They want to be bad, and they're going to start out the season bad. Burrow's first full offseason, he's coming out hot. Burrow usually starts slow. With or without Chase, I don't think it matters. I think Bengals blow out Pats in the first game.
I'm gonna say one thing on Pat Score. Want to be bad? They don't have a fucking choice. They're gonna be fucking bad. Okay, so they don't have much of a fucking choice. Hunter, Corey, you want to tag in on this?
Yep. Here comes the opposite homer here. Ugly game going on in Cincinnati. Ugly enough to where I asked Luke Schultz if we wanted to go watch it week 1, and he straight up told me no. So I think this is going to be our first 2 unit of the podcast, and I am barely liking it. Also, just a little preface, I hate buying juice. I think juice is terrible, but this is value town to me.
Haven't you
so we're going to go
2 picks already?
Shut up, Corey.
a little bit, but not – I'm talking about heavy juice, Corey, almost to the minus 200.
I like that.
We're going 2 units. Patriots, I'm with them. I don't see us scoring a point. If we do, it's a lucky field goal. I will say Chad Ryland, thank you for Drake May and being cut from this team. I am going team total Patriots under 17.5 at minus 180. Go ahead and throw the house on this. It should be a 3 unit, but I think I'm going to save it. And then just real quick, not much to say again on us. They cleared it, or they summed it up well for me. We suck. We are playing for probably another top 5 pick, probably top 3, to be honest. Rough division for us. And then I also think, say what you want about the Patriots and our offensive capabilities, we are built on defense and probably always will. A lot of veterans back there still. And expect to see, obviously, Jabril Peppers kind of take over this team along with Chase Uche, or Josh Uche.
Shout. Wow.
Jabril Peppers is awesome. Look up his stats last year.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't want to overthink it. I don't mind the under as well. But just I think it can get fluky. I could see the Bengals honestly beating us 45-0. So I'm just gonna lock in that Patriots team total under 17.5, 2 units.
A quick thing here: Judon traded Christian Ballmore out going in to start this game.
Christian
That
Barrymore
is
gone.
That
out.
is
I know, that makes sense.
Corey Finster.
Sorry, real quick. That Judon trade also was a
Great trade.
fleet.
That was a
from
fleece.
us.
Yeah,
Get that contract out of here.
the Falcons are in win now mode in the NFC South. So
Falcons are quietly have the worst GM in the history of the sport.
No, well, I mean, all right. Anyway, my turn.
Corey Finster.
Go ahead.
All right. So, I am a huge Bengals believer this year. I actually think they have one of the best odds to start off as a Steelers fan. Start off the season 9-10-0. However, they have to get past their week 2 match against the Chiefs. You start off. This is a betting podcast. I don't think any of my fellow podcasters know this, but I will be starting on week 1 betting the Bengals money line, whatever odds it is, $100, and I will be doubling that all the way through. We go 10 weeks. We hope
What a
that they go
pussy.
We hope they go 10-0, and then we go 100 to whatever that number is. Hopefully,
Holy hell! I haven't even thought about this.
around 100,000. You know, like
Corey,
that.
have you just out of curiosity, have you thought about their odds at being the last undefeated team and just betting on that?
No.
Well, you get more value on the reroll.
Well, they play the Chiefs week 2, so you don't bet that, but you hope that you get the plus money win in week 2 to help spiral.
And then let that thing roll.
Yeah, spiral it in week 2. However, I love the fucking Patriots this week. I love the Patriots and their number. The number is fantastic. Give me the Patriots plus 9.5. You have Gerard.
8.5. 8.5. 8.5.
I have 9.
Nope.
As
8.5.
of Tuesday, September 3rd, on FanDuel Sportsbook.
We're on DraftKings.
No, we're on DraftKings Sportsbook
doesn't
only.
matter.
It does matter. We're on DraftKings only.
That's where all of our lines
Either
come from.
Sportsbook. I have them 9.5 right now. Give me 9, maybe 8.5. But
It's
take
it's.
the
I'm
8.5.
looking at it. I'm staring at it. It's 8.5.
Anyway,
It's
give me.
on every. It's in F on Caesars, William Hill, DraftKings, Bovada.
All right. Anyway,
So you're a
me.
believer in brisket.
Give me the Patriots. Give me the Jacoby Brissett. Give me Ramondre. Give me Gerard Mayo being able to control that clock, taking the ball out of Burrow's hands. The defense is still very good in New England. Don't get me wrong. It is very good.
Are we sure it wasn't just Bill Belichick being the best
No,
defense coordinator
it's
sports
not.
ever seen?
It's not.
They have some
This
players.
clock will be controlled. That's why I also love under. What do you guys have?
40.5.
I love
40.
40 and a half.
I say it before every
Give
game.
me the Patriots plus whatever their number is and under 40.5 or under 40.
Finster,
I love
you gonna
this.
tag in on this?
No, I'm going to pass on this game. It's one of the higher spread totals. I think 8.5 is a really good line on Vegas's part, so I'm going to stay away from this one.
Corey, you want to say any closing notes before I go?
No, I'll take the 2 units.
Also-
one on the
2
Patriots
units.
spread. No, one on the Patriots spread and one on the under.
Gotcha.
Also, real quick, just get ready. Honestly, if I'm Jamar, I kind of want to sit this game out. You got C. Gonzalez following you all over this field. That is a terrifying sight, as we can remember what he did to Tyreek Hill in Gillette Stadium last year, allowing only 3 catches for 17 yards on him. Just look for that as well. And then, Jalen Polk season has arrived.
On that note, real quick, just a lean for a touchdown prop, even though we said we're not playing them at all. Andre Yoshivash 3-1.
No, Brandon,
He's
you can
starting
take
in
touchdown
you can
props.
play that.
Yeah,
So
you
good
can.
conversation.
Yossi is plus 300.
He's starting in the Tyler Boyd spot, but he can play outside, which is going to open up a lot of stuff for Jamar to play in the slot that he couldn't do with Boyd.
I think it's
and he
a,
had
feel like-
15 receptions last year.
Good shit,
4 of them
good shit.
went for
I feel
touchdowns.
like plus 300 should be like
Love
plus
that
650,
stat right there.
honestly.
That's
I
why we
feel-
were talking about we're not playing anytime touchdown scores because they've completely taken the juice off. It's disgusting.
Yeah, the juice is terrible. I agree.
Yeah. Agreed.
Fine value.
Closing notes
I think it's good
here.
on the.
Sorry,
ahead,
Tony,
Mark.
do you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this game's also, there's a lot of question marks going into this game. You have Jacoby Brissett for New England, and then you also have no Matthew Judon on the other side coming off the D-line. So you also have a new OC in the Cincinnati, right, Luke? You guys lost your OC to the Titans.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
but Zach Taylor, I mean,
Zach Taylor
still
does
playing,
plays.
calling the plays, so don't really know. I like Callahan. I hope he does well in Tennessee, but I don't know how much that really changes. for
Well,
this year.
here, Tony, let me give you some answers since you have clouded judgment. Bengals
I do.
minus 8.5, 1 unit play for me. This is more pick against Patriots than the shitty Bengals. Patriots are my lowest ranked team to start the season, and they will stay that way throughout the whole season. Bengals cover easy. It's a decimation. I mean, there's no thought in my mind that 8.5 is a big number, and is it probably the right line coming from a handicapping standpoint? Yeah, but the player in me looks at this and says this is going to be a 30-0 ball game. So
Yeah,
I also
you guys see Burrow's haircut.
yeah, he looks a little. Oh God,
Yeah.
I'm about
Slim
to
shady.
say something. I'm about to say something. I also lean to the under at 40.5, but it's just a lean at 40.5 for me. Moving on. Ooh, this is a fun one. Cardinals on the road, coming to Buffalo, minus 6.5. This line actually ticked up half a point, shaded to the 6.5 as well, minus 112. Over under 40. even, minus 110. Both
48.
ways.
48.
Oh, excuse me,
48.
If
48.
it was 40, I'm slamming.
Can I?
Excuse me.
Can
I
start
was
on this?
Corey. You had my mind read. Corey, lead us off here.
All right. So, coming into the season, the Bills lost Stephon Diggs. They lost all this. Yada 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 yada. I don't give a fuck what the Bills
Period.
lost. Give me the Bills minus 6.5. Is that what you guys have? Minus
6.5 is
Yes.
what's that right now.
Yes. You can give me the Bills minus 6.5. I think this game will be high scoring. I love Arizona's offense. Their defense is
Abysmal.
terrible. You might as well
Abysmal.
put me in pads and throw me at strong safety.
That would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh,
That would.
And
That's a
that-
stretch.
They
That's a
they
stretch.
I think they have a
hybrid
good
Buda
safety.
Baker,
They
and
have a
that is
good
it. That
safety.
is it. You can give me the Bills minus 6.5 and give me the over. What, 48.5?
Yep.
Is that where we're
48
looking at?
even.
48.5?
48 even.
Give me the Bills and the over. I will take that all day, all night. I'm gonna go get another drink. You got to go.
Yeah, I want to
Um,
just go ahead and bounce off what Corey just said here. Connor, could you hit the music, please?
Oh, here we go.
Tactical nuke incoming!
The DEFCON 1 Robert Oppenheimer nuclear launch code play of the week this week is the over in this game. Over 48.
Wow.
Defense on the Cardinals. I like their coach. He's a good defensive mind. I mean, turn the keys, boys. I like the coach, but that unit is just it's just bad. They don't got the players. I like what they did in the draft. They've got a lot of talent, mostly on the offensive side. Kyler coming back. I think it's going to be fireworks for them most of the season. Big on the Cardinals offense. I think that Josh Allen is just Josh Allen. He's going to score points no matter what. Doesn't matter who he's got out there. But unfortunately for him, his entire career has been completely decimated by being tied to the worst NFL head coach this tenured to this level. Sean McDormand is an absolute moron. A defensive guy who can't stop anyone from scoring in the playoffs. It's an absolute joke. This defense is old. They're doing things to get ready for the future by cutting old guys and trading them, getting off of them. Defense isn't good. They don't have the players out there. They have an idiot at the head coaching spot. Give me the over, and also give me the Cardinals +6. I love Kyler.
One unit on
Or
each?
6.5. 6.5. 1 unit on each. Oh no, sorry. The DEFCON 1 Robert Oppenheimer nuclear launch code play of the week is 3 units
Oh,
on the over.
Okay.
3 units on the over. Give me 1 on +6.5 of the Cardinals. That's all I got.
Hunt.
Let me, I'll piggyback off this as well. I also am going to be locking in the over at 48.5. And I get what Corey's saying about the Bills. I think they're going to do what they do best. But I also think people are forgetting what Kyler did when he came back fully healthy last year. Ranked 3rd in offensive efficiency all throughout the rest of the season since returning. And I honestly think he is a dark horse MVP candidate with the Cardinals potentially sneaking into a wild card spot. Listen, I think Tony talked about uncertainty. I would like to talk about the uncertainty of the Bills wide receiving core. We're looking at Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, and Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel being a backup to Terry McLaurin, Khalil Shakir, who was a no-name prior to last season, and Keon Coleman, who is a jump ball specialist, and that's about all I've seen so far out of his career. I think outside of James Cook and Kincaid, I think they're going to struggle a little bit. I think it takes time to build that chemistry. I don't think I've seen enough in camp nor preseason. Con, I know you're big on Keon Coleman.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, could shock me. I think he could have a great week as well. I don't mind his receiving yards over, just as a nice play.
I see him
And
being a slow
also,
start guy.
My lean for this is also Cards +6.5. I don't think there's much to overthink it. I think this game's going to be a shootout, and I like if we're going fantasy, I like Trey McBride as our tight end 1 for the year, and then
Boo.
look to see Marv and Connor. Connor especially racking up the catches out of the backfield.
Thank you. Brant, Tony.
Tony, go ahead.
You guys, I saw you, Connor, shaking your head when he's seeing or saying bad stuff about Keon Coleman. I'm a big Keon Coleman guy.
I don't
especially
understand. I don't
see
get
it-
it.
see-
He
Seeing him in-
transfer schools to play football because he was a basketball player before.
No one cares.
Did
Okay,
you see how good he was
LeBron
at
James is a
FSU?
basketball player. What happens if he comes and plays? I mean, what
He
does
was
that
playing
do?
against ACC DBs catching jump balls, dog. He's not a route
Oh,
runner. He's
man.
not a
Oh, my
polished X. He's
God.
literally
Oh,
just
man.
he's a Popeye's biscuit away from being a
He's
tight end.
a-
He's Calvin
he's
Benjamin.
a-
He's
Khalil
Calvin
Shakir,
Benjamin.
Khalil Shakir is the number 1 there.
Okay.
which is it was just
Okay,
ridiculous.
I don't think a slot guy can really be the number one, but I think that's really
Yeah, that's like
difficult.
saying Lad
Cooper
McCockle.
Cup won the Triple Crown out of the slot.
Yeah, I was
Okay, well-
literally
What did you
about
just
to say Cooper Cup did that 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Like-
he literally had the
I
greatest
think
receiving
it's
season
hard
since
though.
Calvin
I'm not
Johnson.
saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's harder.
Oh, I agree.
But yeah, Shakir definitely has the only chemistry there. But I think Curtis Samuel's very underrated. He's produced a pretty decent career with the quarterback play he's had coming out of Washington, and he actually had a decent year last year with Sam Howell. So I think the receiving core there is very underrated. My unit play is also with Corey. I like the over, or not the over, but the 6.5 for the Bills to cover. The over you guys are nuking here. I'm worried about the Cardinals offense, to be honest with you. You got two guys there, and then James Conner, old ass James Conner, running the ball. Even
Best
though they
season of his career last year in the final
Yep,
3
best
games.
season of his
I mean,
career.
maybe
Highest
not.
efficiency running back, third highest efficiency running back when he was healthy last year.
You want to talk about revitalized? That's all I needed to see.
At the end of the day, it's if you believe in Kyler or not. Honestly,
It's my
I do believe in
dark horse
Kyler,
MVP
and I
candidate.
definitely lean the over. I could see the Cardinals dropping like 14, 17 points and crushing the under here for you guys. Unfortunately,
Brant?
I like Bill's 31-21.
I don't feel too strongly about this game. I wanted to point out that it opened at 7, got all the way down to 5.5, and then there was some buyback on the Bills to get it back to 6.5. And then probably not against the Cardinals, who are potentially the worst defense in the league, but in general, the Bills are going to be an under team for me this year, just because they're going to be playing a lot of more 2 tight end sets. I think they'll be a little more run first, but you guys have talked me out of playing the under in this one, so I'm staying away for now. But look for me to be playing Bills unders in the future.
did you guys look at the team total for the Bills? It's at 27.5. I think that might be the safer play than relying on the Cardinals offense.
Not in week 1, it's not.
You'll
I'm all for betting against like the Cardinals defense here though. 27.5. I'd rather just take that as a safer play.
I
That's-
just hate that
that's a
team
good point.
total when we don't know what to expect out of this offense.
I wouldn't be
I mean,
surprised if the Cardinals
good
beat the
point.
brakes off the Bills.
You
And
can-
it's like
you
We have
can like-
Josh Allen. I mean, that's what I rebel
But
on.
my thing is, you can like Keon Coleman as much as you want because I think that's the X factor in this offense. I really do.
It's like-
I think
And
Dalton
he's
Kincaid
either
is
going to
really
be
good,
great
too.
or it's going to be a slow start for him. And
But
it's
it's like-
we'll see.
it's like another thing. Early in the season, you believe in Sean McDermott. You think he's the fucking greatest coach of all time, and then you get to the postseason and you think he's an idiot.
Yep.
Like same with
Didn't the
Lamar.
Bills suck in the first
Like-
half of the season last year? Like he hasn't been a good coach at all. Like he literally just has Josh
It's-
Allen.
He had a
Brian
good pick.
Daboll
He
fixed
had a
Josh
good
Sean,
Allen.
pick.
it's Sean McDermott. It's
The
just
Brian
people think
Daboll
he's-
fixed him, and then
I don't think Sean McDermott's a good coach.
Thank you.
I just think that
Dorkman.
people
They were
think
much.
Sean McDermott is a good coach.
They were much better when they fired their OC though last year. I think that was holding Josh Allen back a lot. They were putting a lot on his shoulders, and then they fired him, and he was way better.
Alright, where did
He's
he go?
arguably got more on his shoulders this year.
Also,
Do you know
should
who
mention
the new
that
offensive coordinator is?
Stephon Diggs was horrible
No.
last year.
The new offensive coordinator is
Diggs
Joe
had the
Brady.
most-
Joe Brady.
Yeah.
Is the OC for Burrow's LSU team.
Diggs had the most drops last year, right?
He was very bad at getting separation in the last half of the season.
based on where
I
the Bills
think
defense
there's
ended
less
last
on him.
year. The
All
Bills
right.
defense is going to be missing Leonard Floyd, Poyer, Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, Matt Milano, and
Once
Von
again,
Yes,
Miller.
they're banged up.
loving the over.
Yeah,
Loving
so to
the
round
over.
us out here and finish up the segment on Bills Cardinals, I'm gonna tag along here. One unit play over 48. Both these teams, bad defenses, especially the Cardinals. Bills was more due to injury, like Brant just pointed out. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Matt Milano is a big piece of that. Both these teams can score points. I believe in the Cardinals scoring points this year. I don't see them being such a slow offense. I think their offense is more exciting. This goes over in a hurry. I think this goes 14-7 first quarter. Another little prop for you, and if you know me, you should already know what this bet is. It is Kyler Murray anytime touchdown score plus 295. That is the highest I've been
that's
a
nice.
I've been a Kyler Murray anytime touchdown score backer for a long time. If you know, you know. This might be the best price I've ever seen this at in my life. Okay, it's usually minus 110, minus 150. Plus 295 is ridiculous. I have to jump in on this. That's a one unit play for me. Kyler anytime touchdown score in this game. All right.
He's off the ACL as well.
Yep, I like it a lot. Moving on. Texans on the road
Fun one.
Little fun game here. Texans on the road in Indy. Texans lane 2.5 -118 on the road. Over under 48.5 -110 both sides. Finster, go ahead and lead us off on this one. This seems like a you play here.
This is a me play. I don't know how you knew that, but I love the Texans here -2.5, especially under the key total or the number at 3. I just love the Texans here. I think I believe in Anthony Richardson, but I think what I just saw in preseason against the Bengals after that first drive, it was absolutely abysmal, especially throwing that pick six against the second string. Kind of worries me. I think he gets off to a slow start. And I think I really do believe in C.J. Stroud and the three, probably the best receiving core in the NFL right now with Nico, Tank Dell, and Stephon Diggs. So I really like the
And John
Texans here,
Mechie and
-2.5.
Dalton Schultz too. I mean, they've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
a
you
very
got Dalton Schultz
If-
and Stover as
Luke,
well.
Luke,
Stover.
if you want to add on to that, you can, because I
Yeah.
think you're a Texans backer.
I don't have much to add to this game. I like Shane Steichen. I think is a genius. I think he's a great coach. I think Anthony Richardson personally, I think he sucks, and that if Shane Steichen turns him into a Pro Bowl quarterback, I think that's one of the best coaching jobs that's ever been done. But give me Texans -2.5 in this game. I don't see. I don't think the Texans are starting off slow. I don't think they're slowing down. I think CJ might be. I think he was the most pro-ready quarterback we'd ever seen. The fact that Bryce Young went over him is just because I don't know what happened, but people obviously didn't watch enough Ohio State games. He throws the best deep ball he just throws the best ball I've ever seen. And it's obvious that he knows what he's doing. I think the Texans come out hot. I think the Texans. If I didn't already have the Bengals win the AFC, it would be the Texans win the AFC.
Quick note.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys are calling your plays with units, and if you want to be
Okay,
a
yeah.
lean, it's a lean. Okay, just so that
This
the
is
I
Texans
do-
-2.5 for
I have the
Every play for me is a unit unless I specify otherwise.
yeah.
Texans
This is my
-2.5.
unit play.
just
on the
make sure that you
-2.5.
mention, even if it is, just say 1 unit play. Okay, just so that our listeners can know. Okay.
I got nothing else
People-
to add.
People are
Texans
worried
-2.5.
about the rushing legs of AR-15, but we got Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson coming off the edge. I'm pretty confident in those two holding the containment on the outside. So, do what?
I don't care if he
Lot-
runs.
lot
If
of
he runs, he's
scrambling.
going to be on his fucking stretcher.
I
like he was
disagree.
every
I
single
think
game.
Richardson has a
we
big
got
game.
containment.
Every single game. All right.
Played 3 games.
I'm gonna take the ugly
hurt
play.
twice.
I'm gonna take the ugly play here because I think everybody and their grandmothers are on the Houston Texans this year. I will take the Colts +2.5, and I'll take the under as well. I think it's 48.5, 49.
48.5,
around
yep.
there. Whatever you get it at on Sunday, if you bet it, whatever. I'll take the under on that. I'll take the Colts +2.5. I love this play. I also love preseason taking the Texans under in their win total. I think you can get it
Wow.
at plus money at 9.5.
Wow.
Give me the plus money.
That's
win
bold.
total. I'm bigger on the Colts and the Jags than you would think.
I agree with
And
that.
In the
I
AFC
agree.
South,
With one. I agree with you on one of those teams, but yeah.
So I'm bigger on the Colts and the Jags in the AFC South. I think it'll be a bloodbath. The winner of that division will win 10 games, and if it's the Texans, then I'll take that loss. I'll give 9.5 under. It is plus money right now on all sports books. Give me the plus money under 9.5 wins for the Texans.
Brant, then Hunter,
Colts-
finish us out after this.
Colts +2.5.
I'm also on the Colts +2.5. I went 2 units on this one too. This is a spot that I
Wow.
love for 2 reasons.
Wow.
I love home divisional dogs. This is a spot that I
Yes.
play all the time, and I also love to fade teams that are getting the biggest offseason hype week 1.
Mm.
And I'm
Remember
just
the
basing
Lions
this
last
off.
year?
Yeah, that one actually killed me. I did have the Lions last year.
Well, Lions
I
beat
did
the
have the
Chiefs by
Chiefs
1,
last year. I
right?
had the Chiefs last
By
year,
1,
yeah.
yeah. 21-20. Right?
But historically, I've been doing this shit for years, and historically, it's always worked out for me. And then one other quick reason: these two teams played in Week 18 last year. Gardner Minshew played quarterback for the Colts, and he was absolutely
him,
fucking
Brant.
terrible.
Tell them.
Yeah,
13 of 24 for
huge
141 yards, and Jonathan Taylor went for 188 yards on the ground. It all came down to a 4th and 1 pass to a running back I've literally never heard of that he dropped on like the 12-yard line. And then also in the playoffs last year, the Ravens went for, where is this number? Well over 229 yards on, had
Jesus.
100 on 11 touches. So I think that Taylor and Richardson are going to be able to run the ball against the Texans. I like him in this spot. I like him as a home dog within the division. Give me 2
That-
units on the.
To piggyback on
That's
that,
why I'm also taking the under.
to piggyback on that, there's been I listen to a lot of Texans beat reporters for some reason because I don't have anything else better to do, and the Texans run D has been a spot that has come up in press conference with Ryan's D'Amico, and he seems to get a little shy about it. We'll just put it like that.
Oh,
Hunter,
their replacement for Rankins, Danico Autry is suspended for the first 6 games.
good point. Hunter,
Good shout. Good
round
shout.
us off here.
Yeah, keeping it simple. Brant kind of took all my thunder there. I have it in my notes. Expect AR and JT to run all over him. It's not my play. My play is going to be Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown at plus 110, 1 unit. It just feels like a good spot for him. Statistically, he is unbelievable in interdivision type games. And then 2, my lean is actually the over. Neither of these defenses really blow me away. I know the Texans can be good and have a lot of key additions. But once again, I'm very, people sleep on this Colts O-line. Still a top 3 O-line in the NFL in my eyes.
Chill.
And I think they're going to run for 200, 250 yards, kind of on the nose what Brant said. So I think it's going to be a shootout. Texans have too much firepower at offense for the Colts probably to stop. So I could see the Texans winning this game, but not before Jonathan Taylor finds that end zone.
You guys were really dogging the Texans run D when they were a top 10 ranked rush D last year
No,
at
the thing
101
is-
Look, the
yards.
proof is in the
Like,
pudding.
against
The
them 'cause they
proof
were up
is
to-
in
You had
for
one
Swift.
game, and I get it, but
I expect with AR and Jonathan Taylor.
It wasn't
that
just one
they are-
game though.
Run
Since-
defense is a weird stat.
Since it is AR
I mean,
and
rush
Jonathan
yards per
Taylor,
game,
they
I
are
think,
going to
is a
run the
pretty good
ball
indication.
a lot. And
Depends on game
what does
script.
what does
Depends on
what
your
does
plan.
running do? You run the ball a lot, that chews clock. That's why I like the under. Give me under 48.5. Give me the
And
Colts.
2, I like what Corey kind of said here, and Luke as well. Look to see a Ravens style of offense here. I think this is setting up absolutely.
No,
And
they said they're not trying to run him as
No,
much
I
this
do
year
like-
because they don't
they're,
want him
they're
hurt.
not going to, but they're going to have to teach him how to slide because
Yeah,
if they let Anthony Richardson sit back in that pocket and expose how weak his accuracy is, they're going to find out
That's
real
what they
quick.
plan on doing with this
If
Gary.
Anthony Richardson is
Go ahead,
as
Corey.
bad,
Floor's yours.
if AR is as bad as Lamar is, then they will have to run because it was proven that Lamar cannot throw the ball in the AFC Championship last year.
All right,
Lamar
I'm gonna
knows
finish
it.
this out and hush all this hate. Shane Steichen almost beat the Texans, like some of us of my colleagues have pounded on in the playoffs last year with Gardner fucking
Are
Minshew.
we sure AR's an
With
upgrade
Gar-
over that?
no, hush the
it was
hype,
to
hush,
match up.
hush,
That's
hush,
a
hush,
Pro
hush.
Bowler last
Hush,
year.
hush, please,
Gardner Minshew.
please. My grandma can make the Pro Bowl, okay? It's a fucking joke. He made Minshew a Pro Bowler quarterback, okay? He now gets back his hand-picked 4th overall pick, okay?
Unproven.
A whole off season, okay, to prepare. No shade to Minshew, but this guy fucking sucks. Colts plus 2.5 in a teaser with the Cowboys at plus 2.5. 6-point teaser up to 8.5. Both teams minus 120. 2-unit play. Moving on.
Say that again.
No,
Say
you
that
got
one more
That's a good
time.
play.
Colts
that one
plus
more time.
2.5 in a 6-point teaser with the Cowboys at plus 2.5 up to 8.5. 2 units minus 120.
I like
Come
that.
on, next week?
All right.
Moving
No,
on.
Cupbo's this week.
Moving on.
Oh.
Jags.
0?
Jags on
Yeah.
the road in Miami. Jags catching 3.5. Love that. On the road, shaded to the 3.5, minus 122. Crazy vig. Dolphins catching plus money on the minus 3.5, plus 102. Over under 49, shaded to the under minus 112. This seems like a Brant lead. Go ahead, Brant. Lead us off here on this Jags game.
I have nothing on this game.
You have
I
nothing?
would like to lead this.
Hunter, go ahead
I
and
would
take
like to
over.
lead
Yeah,
this.
Hunter, go.
This is about as fraudulent of a fraudulent gets in Trevor Lawrence. One of the most undeserved contracts we've ever
I
seen.
do agree with that. I do agree with
Hold
that.
on. Just let me finish my point. So let's a stat that I love to see. I love how we brought Gardner Minshew in the conversation last term. I always tell Luke this. If
This
you
is
want to go
ridiculous.
ahead and look at, and I'll give the Urban Meyer year exception.
Yeah.
Other than that, all on him.
What about last
If
year?
you
He was
look,
hurt for half the year.
if I'm going to keep going with my point here, if you look at Gardner Minshew's first 50 starts compared to T-Law's first 50 starts, Gardner Minshew statistically is the better quarterback, along with wins as well, I might add. Simple for me here. This is a 2-unit play. Let's go Dolphins -3.5.
Wow.
This offense is there's too much firepower. You're looking at a healthy Tua, Tyreek, Waddle, and you have a two-headed backfield along with Achane and Mostert. I expect this game to be a blowout. I haven't looked at the alt spreads, but I would definitely think about taking this -13.5 all the way up to. And I think that a lot of people are buying in to this Jaguar hype, especially with the T-Law contract. And this on my board here is a don't overthink. This is as simple gets in Miami. All the Latinos are going to be going nuts at this game for Tyreek Hill. Dolphins -3.5 plus money, 2 units.
This is immediately going over to Luke Schultz right now. Luke, take us over.
I can't disagree more with this pick. Do we remember how the Dolphins' sad season ended last year as they choked away the division to a Bills team who was, what were they, like 10%, 5%, 2% to win the division at one point? And they come all the way back, beat the Dolphins in Week 18 or 17 or 18, wherever they played, in Miami. They walked them down. They're a sad franchise.
So we're comparing the Bills and Jags here. That's what we're doing currently.
You can give me a second to get my point across?
Go ahead.
Sad ending the last season. What have they done in the offseason except lose players? They've lost half their defense. They have upgraded in no major way. They're saving money because they had to pay Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Tua. All right? I'll give you that. You got those guys. You got Achane and Mostert. You got the Jalen Wright. You got offense. All right? Cool. Are you going to be able to stop anybody? Is Jalen Ramsey going to lock anybody up on the outside? I don't see it. I think Mike McDaniel, funny guy, can draw up some cool motions. I think that this Dolphins team is so overrated this year. I don't think they make the playoffs. I think I think the Jags are so undervalued. They started off the season last year 8-3. Do we remember this? Trevor Lawrence gets hurt like multiple times in the season. He almost beat the Chiefs in the playoffs last year when they went to go on to win the Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence is underrated. The Jaguars are underrated. Give me the Jags plus 3.5. Are we at?
3.5.
I love it even more. Give me Jags plus 3.5. I don't like the Dolphins. I think the Jags are underrated. I think the first 3 games of the season, you're going to get Jags at too much good value on the Jags this year. The very first start of the season, they might start off 4-0. You're not going to get it after that. Give me Jags to start the season every single week. Jags plus 3.5. What do you?
Finster?
8-3 in the worst conference of football, by the way.
They had 2 teams almost make the playoffs. The Texans made the playoffs, and the Colts were 1 game from making the playoffs.
I'll give you the Texans, but Colts were led by Gardner Minshew after week 3.
And they won 10 games. All right, buddy. Nah.
I think we should just change the podcast to just bold predictions of what I just heard out of both your guys' mouths. I mean, we got a 13.5 taking a spread.
Hey, that's why this podcast is different from all the rest, because it's great.
That wasn't my main play. That was saying I would take it up there as a lean. It's not saying.
And then Luke just said the Dolphins missing playoff, which is also pretty crazy to me.
It's not. Look at the AFC.
It's stacked. I'll give you that. But the Dolphins were very good last year, and I don't know why you're saying they didn't upgrade on defense when they got Kendall Fuller, and then they also got Jordan Poyer for safety in the secondary.
Jordan Poyer.
Yeah, he was very good on the Bills last year.
Okay.
That's just my take on that. Well, I think they definitely got better in the secondary, and then they also got a D lineman that they drafted out of Missouri in the first round of the DN. So I think they definitely got better on defense, and they addressed the secondary issue. And don't forget too, they also had Jalen Ramsey hurt for most of the year last year, and that's their star cornerback.
He's like 30.
So
I want to get back.
Do you have any unit bets on this, Tony?
I do. If I would get into that,
I understand.
I'm disagreeing with Hunter on the fact that he's saying that Trevor Lawrence is very overrated here, because I have a Trevor Lawrence player prop play over 250 passing yards. They're gonna have to pass the ball a lot, and this is what Trevor Lawrence did
the entire game. That's why.
Yes, I don't know about that.
You can't say I'm completely wrong.
I think it's going to be a shootout. This is going to be a very vertical offensive game. They have some of the fastest receivers on the field with Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis as deep threats. And that's what Trevor Lawrence was lacking last year, deep ball throws. I think Trevor Lawrence smashes this line over 252, I think it was. I think this is a good play, especially when they're trying to keep up with the Dolphins offense.
Is that a unit bet, Tony?
It is a official unit bet.
My last thing on this game, Trevor Lawrence, if you take his EPA per dropback last season, you adjust it for complete whiff blocks and drop passes, he was third in EPA per dropback last year. Trevor Lawrence is a great quarterback. Don't overthink it.
Let's just take the O line out of football. Let's see how QBs throw on a
Corey,
7-on-7.
He
Corey,
just paid
Corey,
offensive lineman this offseason.
Corey.
Don't care.
Two-
So did the
two-
Bengals 2 years in a row.
Two things
How's
here.
that going? Yeah.
One bet, one future. I do think that when you're sitting on your couch watching Red Zone this Sunday, that this Jags-Dolphins game will be the final 1 o'clock slate game you are watching going into the 4 o'clocks. I think this game will take a while. There will be a lot of passes thrown. I think the over is pretty much a lock. Give me over, 40,
49.
49
So
and a half?
second highest total on the
49
day.
flat on DraftKings.
Give me that over. I'll take it. It will be the last game you're watching on your TV in the 1 o'clock slate. Also, my future bet. So 1 unit on that, the over, and then my future bet, which won't get recorded, but if you want to take it, you can. My future bet is the Dolphins to win the AFC East. I love the Dolphins this year to win the AFC East. I think the Bills are a third place team, honestly. Jets give me
Agreed.
second. Give me the Patriots in fourth.
Let me ask real quick before we move on. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Corey, I know you're high on the Dolphins. Where, hypothetically here, where do you lean in this game? Who do you see closing this thing out if it's going to be our final game?
It's going to be back and forth. I really don't care. I just want to see fireworks, and I think it's going to go over.
Cool.
Quite honestly,
I like it.
I do like the Dolphins. I think if the Dolphins are going to win the AFC East, they better win this fucking game this week.
I don't think they can win
should,
the East, but
but I don't know if they're going to cover the spread. They should win.
To Corey's point, their fall off last year was related to losing 3 starting offensive linemen and Tua not being able to move because he's got that hip injury. So they get Teron Armstead back from injury. They signed Aaron Brewer in free agency. It shouldn't be as bad as it was at the end of the year, and their
He was
offense
known
is
for his
kind of
movement.
dependent. Their offense is kind of dependent on the offensive line. People are saying Tua lost weight and that he's going to be able to run this year. I don't know if I buy it, but at least their
Concussion.
offensive line's not going to be as bad as it was at the end of the year.
Yeah, my notes and my plays on this game, I got a 1 unit bet. Dolphins money line minus 162. I can't remember the last time a Mike McDaniel Dolphins team lost in their season opener, much less at home. It's just tough. I'm also big on the Jags. I mean, me and Luke have talked about this. I think the Jags are very underrated this year. Unfortunately, the Jags, first-time defensive coordinator for Jacksonville, couldn't find a worse first game here. Finns win this game easy. It's just a bad spot for Jacksonville, but I will be looking to back them in the future. 2 other bets for me. Miami down 5 of their 6 defensive pass rushers, defensive linemen from last season. Christian Wilkins is now a Raider. Other guys hurt. You hope we
Brad
can see.
Chubb's hurt.
Yep, Chubb's hopefully gonna. I think he's gonna try and play. Jalen Phillips obviously out with the Achilles tear and some other little pieces they're missing. Finster, good point. They did draft the guy from Mizzou, but he's just a rookie, brother. 1 unit
I agree with
ETN,
that.
1 unit ETN anytime touchdown, and 1 unit ETN over 58.5 rushing yards. I don't know how no one else found these bets with Miami's front 7 being so banged up.
I also have a play I forgot to say. I'm taking ETN receptions over 2.5.
Yeah.
He hit this 13 of 15 games last year. I think that's a smash, especially because they don't have to pass the ball
What's
a
the
lot.
juice on
so
that, Tony?
It's juiced. It's juiced. So I'm gonna throw 2 units on it, minus 155, just to cover the juice.
Ain't that bad.
Yep. All right.
Also, one
What
last
was,
thing
what
on
was
the
that line? 6.5.
2.5. 2.5.
2.5. Okay, I was
One
like,
last thing
A
on
line
Mike
that he hit
McDaniel's
13 of 15 last year.
season openers. Last year's season opener, little fun fact, defensive guru Brandon Staley had Khalil Mack one-on-one with Tyreek Hill in the opening possession of that game. Let's move on.
Okay.
that game was fun,
Next
though.
game. That game was fun.
Tyreek Hill, I remember that.
That game was fun. Seems like we got a lot of Miami love and a little bit of Jackson love. Luke, I think you're just it's just a bad spot for Jacksonville. I am on board with you, though. This line's moved. It's kind of got me in shambles. Me and Corey are big Pittsburgh fans, as you will come to see. We got a lot of AFC North love in here. Steelers on the road at Atlanta. All the Atlanta hype coming to fruition here in the opener at home. Mercedes-Benz. Steelers plus 3.5 now. Now shaded to the 3.5 minus 115. Over under 42 minus 110 both sides. Corey, go ahead and start us off here. Please have a prayer for us.
Yeah, me and Connor are both big Steelers fans. I, as a Steelers fan, don't like putting money on the spreads of any of the games that they play. I will in the future have two plays on spreads eventually throughout the season. You'll see those in the later
Coming
weeks.
week.
Week 12,
Got 'em planned
13, later weeks. I'll have two spread
You
plays
can't
on
have
Steelers
anything
games.
good on this game. So
I'll have
speed it
Two
up.
out of 17, you like?
Two-
Two out of
two-
17?
two spread plays in Steelers games throughout the year. That's what I've already looked forward to.
It's the Ravens.
This game, Lamar Jackson is terrible at football. It's crazy. Anyway, I don't have anything in this game besides the under. I'm not putting a unit or anything in this game. However, if you want to roll with me, I like the under in this game. I think the Steelers defense, whatever. Russie, you got it's a field game.
I'm going to go out of
Give me
character
the-
here, and I'm
give
going to
me
go
the-
after Corey. This game hurts my soul, okay? Like I mentioned, me and Corey are Steelers fan, unbiased. If I took our roster versus the Falcons roster, we lose this 10 out of 10 times. But something tells me deep in my soul that we keep it close. Just a lean to the Falcons for me. Now at the 3.5, I lean Pittsburgh, but go Steelers. Luke, take this away.
Yeah, I got nothing for this game. This game blows. This should be a 4:00 game. Under 42. Give me that. You bet the under and turn it off. Don't watch the game.
You bet the under turn.
want
Once
a
again,
unit
I
on
like
that?
the under, but
I want one unit on under 42,
No.
and I'm not. I promise this is a great game to watch because you're not going to see it on Red Zone. It will never pop up, so you'll be like, okay, my bet.
Kirko
As soon as
Chains
the
might
Seahawks
pop
say
out.
right-
Kirko Chains
Once-
might pop out.
I
Drake
don't-
London.
I love the under, but I'm not betting a unit, so don't put it on the record.
Hunter,
I'm
anything on
playing a
this?
unit
Bring
on
it.
the over.
Okay, interesting.
I think that the Falcons team is being priced too low just relative to the reputation they had under Arthur Smith. And now their new play caller is Zach Robinson, who was QB coach for the Rams last year. So I think you see a lot more 3 wide receiver sets. I think you see him let Kirk throw the ball around in the short game a little bit, a little less of a run rate, and just a faster paced game. And it really pains me. It really sucks to bet on the Steelers offense to score points, but they did upgrade at quarterback. You can argue about how big of an upgrade it was, but it is an upgrade. So
Yep.
I'm taking over.
Finster, Hunter, anything?
Go
Want
ahead.
me to run it?
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right. Ugly game. Probably my least favorite game, other than Carolina Saints. Two things right off the rip. Steelers, with their starting QBs in play, failed to score a touchdown in the preseason. Only resulted in 1 field goal and 7
It's
punts.
preseason. It's
Um,
preseason.
I
Come
think
on.
Russell Wilson played.
You'll-
Yeah,
you'll-
any biggest
you'll-
preseason?
I think
You don't
Russell
think they're
Wilson played
trying?
5 total series.
He did.
if you'd let me go, I could get to the point I'm trying to make here.
What a hater.
With that being said, Russell Wilson was very efficient when it came to yards and completions. So I'm gonna lean. I'm not betting
Who was
this.
calling his
I
plays?
could
Arthur Smith.
Are we talking about in the preseason or last year?
talking about preseason, Luke.
Okay, all right.
With the team that he's on now, not last year's team. Yeah.
Okay,
the
he
Broncos.
was efficient last year when Sean Payton was gone.
Okay.
Arthur Smith.
So I'm going. I have a lean of Russell Wilson, 225 plus passing yards at plus 170. It's going to be a lean
Wow.
for me, and then I do like Atlanta minus 3.5. Kirko Chains obviously revamps this offense, replacing the best UC QB we'll ever see in Desmond Ritter. Never forget.
we knew
And
that
then-
guy.
And two, I don't think it's talked about. I think when you see a guy like Drake London, I think you're talking about top 10 wide receiver NFL talent.
Yup.
He's obviously
Drafted
did
him
not
in
get.
fantasy.
He did not love him in fantasy. Got him in fantasy. He obviously can't really show that with Desmond Ritter putting the ball 5 yards behind him. I do think it's going to be tough. You're obviously looking at a stout Steelers defense, similar to the Patriots. No matter what happens in the offseason, no matter coaching changes, QB, whatever happens, you're going to be stout. But look to see Drake London, good game, and then the big wild card. Let's see what Kyle Pitts does for the 6 year, 5 years in a row.
Fenster.
Oh man, I'm just with everybody else. It's a pretty ugly
So
game.
gross.
There's a lot of question marks on both sides of the ball. The only solid thing you kind of have here is the Steelers defense being pretty good. But I'm just excited to see my boy Bijan go out there with finally in his first time. I know he only played 1 year, but with a good quarterback. Not I wouldn't say great, but a good quarterback who can hold it down. Bijan unleashed this year, MVP, RB1 in fantasy.
What's the odds on Algier to score 2+ touchdowns this game?
MVP is a quarterback award, so I mean.
I don't think
Sure.
it can be overstated how terrible Ritter was last year. How much he held the offense.
The worst
Hey,
quarterback
be
I've ever
nice.
seen in my life.
UC.
I-
Some of the
I-
worst
Come on,
turnovers.
come on.
I disagree.
Also too, let's not downplay Kirk Cousins here, guys. We're talking about a guy specifically. I guess we're
Off
going
an
Drake
Achilles.
London here, but
11+
one
years
of the most consistent 35 to 4,000 yard, 28 around touchdown guys with low interceptions. Also, he has produced 3 out of his last 5 seasons a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy.
He's
So,
good.
Those receivers.
I'm not
Ceiling for
dogging
Drake
him.
London's high. I'm just saying.
If
I'm not
Kirk
dogging him. I
Cousins
think he's
had
good.
postseason accolades, he'd be a Hall of Famer, but he's
All right,
not.
we don't need to keep talking about this. This is the ugliest game on the
Bump my
slide.
over up to
Yeah.
2 units for me, Fenster. Put me
Okay,
on 2.
we're moving
I
on.
like
We're moving
that.
on.
Okay.
We're moving on. We're
Zero
moving on.
units for me. 0.
We're moving on. 0 for me as well. No leans. Just a lean to the Steelers at plus 3.5 at this point. Moving on. Oh, sorry, my
Going to
stuff reset.
Chicago.
We're going to Chi-Town. A lot of
This
hype
is
here.
this
Hold
is the
on, my
Grand
draft
Rapids.
team.
This is
Start
the
bringing off
easiest.
hometown hero.
Hold
easiest
on,
game.
my
As the
Brant just
local
switched.
Chicago representative, I have real quick on the Bears. Terrible offensive line last year. I think 5th most sacks, well over 50. They
That was
returned
Fields.
4. They returned 4 starters. The only new starter was the center from Buffalo. They traded a 5th-round pick for. It's certainly a big part of the sacks issue was Fields holding the ball for too long, but that is also exactly what Caleb Williams does.
Let me get a
and I
quick
just
rundown here,
see-
Brant, before you keep going. It's Tennessee
Yeah.
on the road at Chicago. Chicago -4 at home. Over under 44.5. Shade to the over. Keep going. Sorry.
I just see Williams as being a high volatility player this year. I think he's going to have a lot of big plays. I think he's going to have a lot of turnovers. I think he's going to hold the ball too long, get stripped, and throw bad picks. And I think that Brian Callahan in at Tennessee, similar to my last play with the Falcons, I think that they're being priced as a team because people are used to Vrabel being their coach that runs the ball all the time. Callahan, when he was with the Bengals, would just completely abandon the run totally and just be like, we're not running the ball anymore. So that's why I'm playing over 45.5 on this one. Is that the number we have?
44.5. Yep.
Even better. 2 units.
Even better. 2 uniter.
Wow.
Boo!
Yeah, I'm
Luke,
playing the over.
Luke, you gonna touch on this?
Yeah, I don't have much on this one. I just have Titans plus 4.5, 1 unit. Rookie quarterback. First game of the season. I think the Titans are getting, or is it, what are they, plus 4 now?
They're +4.
Plus
Titans
4?
+4.
Yeah, still take the plus 4 on that. Rookie quarterback. I think the Bears are getting a lot of hype. Hard Knocks, Caleb Williams, all that. I think that they're good. I want to see how good, and I think the Titans are disrespected. So give me plus 4.
Hunter.
Yeah, oddball here for me. Fun game. One of those ones you sit on the couch and you wait for Scott Hansen to flick on a fun touchdown. Going all gut feeling here, and it's not a lean. I am going to play this. I'm going to go ahead and lock in Roma Dunze anytime touchdown score.
Wow.
I think that Allen is going to take a step back in his career. He's been the one his whole career. He is certainly not the one in this offense. The problem with this is you're going to have to finally come to a decision between these wide receiver sets are going to be tricky because as Keenan Allen is one of the best route runners in the league, you can put him in the slot. I just don't know if he creates a separation. So then you're in a point where Rome either stays in it or you can swap DJ Moore and him throughout. I liked what I saw with the connection in the preseason, especially what Caleb does on his legs. I think Rome is going to shine in busted coverages and busted plays. And I think this is going to be a lot of decoys out on Keenan Allen. And I think at plus 245, I think that Rome is going to find the end zone. And this one I might eat the bullet on, but I think it's good value for how good of a career he should have with all the offense they got going on. And Brand made a great point with the line.
I love that pick, Hunter. People are saying that Keenan Allen is fat and
I
hip,
also
too,
agree.
that he
Keenan
can't
Allen's
fit anything
separation way
big.
down at the end of the last year, and then moving on to Chicago. Finster, then Corey, finish us off here.
Corey, go ahead, man.
So, just one thing here, really. You have a rookie quarterback coming in with Chicago. I think he's going to be a more feel thing, get used to the NFL. You have Will Levis coming onto his second year. He also is going to be feeling it out in his second year as the actual starter, the guy in Tennessee. I like the under. I don't like it as much at 44.5, but I think if you wait until Sunday, it will go up a point, maybe half a point. Take the under 44.5, take it under 45. It doesn't matter. I like the under. That's my only play, 1 unit.
I think
Tony
that's a
Finster.
terrible play. I think
Finster,
that's dumb.
Finster.
I don't have an
We will
official
see.
play on this game. I like to see rookie quarterbacks go out and play their first game before I make any plays on a game like that. So.
I can't believe all my boys missed the play on this. I got a 3-unit play on this, but to start us off, my first 3-unit play of the year, you can get my picks at linechasers.com-bangingpicks.com. My 1-unit play, Titans plus floor. Titans hire Brian Callahan. Get rid of Mike Vrabel. Can't stress how different this offense is going to look this year. And I like the Bears this year. I just think the hype is a little bit. I think this price has gone a little too far for me. Titans are going to be a team I look to back a lot this year. They're going to be a big underdog team. I think that this offense looks a lot different from last year, and a lot of people's minds are still same old Titans, and it's not. So over in this game is also interesting, but the over is just going to be a lean for me. My 3-unit play, which I can't believe all my boys missed. Hunter, you kind of touched on it. Caleb Williams, over 16.5 rushing yards. 3-unit play for me. Rookie quarterbacks use their legs so much in their first year, much less their first game. I'm shocked that this line is so low, especially from what we saw from him in the preseason. 3-unit play for me, boys.
I like
One
that a
little
lot,
quick
Connor.
thing on the
I
Titans.
actually do like
3
that.
is crazy.
On
Max
the
unit
Titans,
play.
one little quick thing here. On top of bringing in Brian Callahan was also able to hire his dad, Bill Callahan, away from the Browns. He's the best offensive line coach in the NFL. They just drafted the J.C. Latham of Alabama in the first round. That offensive line was awful last year. Will Levis was under constant distress. I'd expect him to be a lot better this year. I think Will Levis, I don't know if he's a guy, but I think he's going to be a lot better than he was last year, and he showed some great flashes.
To touch,
I agree.
Coffee.
I agree.
he does put Mayo on a lot of things, Corey.
I
And
also
think
love Mayo.
and I think he's going to put Mayo all over the Chicago team. I do think my one thing with the Titans, I don't know how far you guys think back my whole career. Titans are gritty. I mean, this team.
They are
Was
gritty.
that Vrabel or was that Titans?
That's where my point's
Jeff
going.
Fisher, back in those days.
Exactly. I think that it's kind of instilled in this team, and I think it's going to be a close game. But I'm not taking either way. But I would not be shocked to see the Titans barely escape with a win in this game.
All right, we got to move on.
Hold on a second. I would also like to, Connor, I'm backing you on that.
Yeah.
I did not see that play. I'm also
Insane.
Yeah, give me a
backing
unit on
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
That's
I'll
pretty.
jump on
That's
that, too.
that's pretty low.
Incoming!
Yeah, I might actually be on that too. That's so
Yeah,
weird.
he's fucking running for his life.
Dude,
That's
it's
pretty
so
low.
easy. It's so
That's
low for
pretty
me.
low.
It's
I'm gonna
so low.
take the unit on that. I don't know about a 3, but I will take a unit.
I'll
That's
take a
pretty
unit
low.
on that.
I also will
like
take a unit.
That's what
Let's
we
group
like
right
to
that one.
call a nuclear
Yeah.
Oppenheimer. Turn the
nobody
3
told
red
Corey that we're
keys.
all tan.
Whale bet.
We're all down, man.
Moving on. Panthers on the road in New Orleans. Panthers catching 4 on the road. New Orleans
It's a great
4-point
game.
favorite at home. Over under 41.5. Shaded to the over -112. Brant, lead us off.
This is my biggest play. This is my. Can I get the nuke sound effect?
Here
I
we
bring
go.
3
Tactical
units.
nuke incoming!
Yeah, I bring 3 units on Carolina. So I have optimism about Carolina's defense for a couple of different reasons. They faced a really low pass attempt rate last year, but they did have really great passing numbers, and I think that is partly because of they just didn't get thrown on because they were secondary, J.C. Horn
there
and
we go.
Fuller and Xavier Woods, and there are also quotes coming out of the Saints camp that what is their offensive coordinator's name? He's Kubiak.
Yep,
His
Gary
offensive
Kubiak. Gary.
install
He comes from
is
San Francisco.
behind
Clint.
schedule.
Mhm.
They've
Clint
not been
Kubiak
able
or
to
Gary?
get the offense installed at the same schedule
Gary's
they
son.
wanted to.
Gary's son.
And I also am expecting a step forward for Carolina's offense because one, they couldn't go anywhere backwards from where they were last year, and also they're bringing in David Canales, who
Love
is
that.
bringing with him from Tampa Bay Brad Idzik, and also Pete Carroll's son. And these three guys were all offensive assistants with Seattle under Pete Carroll during the late Russ years when their offense was really good. So it's different than like, it's just going to be two different schedules for offenses. The Kubiak offense that's behind schedule versus this Panthers offense that is all these coaching staff that have a system that they've run together before. And I think they're just going to be more ready to go week one. So my whale nuke Oppenheimer lock the key play is Carolina plus 4.5.
I like it.
Love it. Luke?
They got
I got
better at
nothing.
Receiver too.
Yep. I was gonna say I don't really have much on this game. I think this is a gross game. This division is just the worst. Don't have a play for this game. I'm gonna give you a little future. Canales, Coach of the Year, plus 1800. Lock it the fuck in.
I like that actually a lot.
I think there's a chance they could win this damn division. Everybody's bad at the Falcons hype. I think the Saints stink. I think the Bucks stink. I think the Falcons could stink. I mean, if Canales wins 8-9 games after how everyone media, every NFL fan, what's the story last year? How bad the Panthers sucked. They traded for Bryce Young and gifted the Bears Caleb Williams. If he gets them to 8 or 9 wins, he's winning Coach of the Year. If he makes the playoffs, it's over. Canales plus 1800 for Coach of the Year.
I like that. Finster, Corey?
Go ahead, Tony.
I don't have anything on this game, so we can move on then from me.
Corey?
Do you want me to jump, Corey, or you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Also don't have anything lean wise. I'll make the mine quick. Looking at Bryce Young, the worst offensive line ever, I think, statistically up there. Maybe Bengals can jump in on that conversation.
3 new
Last
starters
year.
this year.
Yeah,
new
they
starters.
got better. They got better.
3 new starters, absolutely backing it. People forget Adam Thielen. I don't care what you say about him. He's going to be a reception machine. And Deontay Johnson, I think, is the X factor in this offense. We're going to see him actually utilized in an offensive scheme outside of Pittsburgh. And my lean, it could turn into a unit by the end of the week. I will update our Excel sheet updater, Tony Finster. I'm going to go Bryce Young over 18.5 completions at minus 135. I think it's going to be a whole lot of checkdowns. I like screens, and I like fun. So let's have some fun with Bryce Young.
I love that. I love that. Corey?
I'm pretty much the same thing as Hunter. I don't like this game whatsoever. I really don't know how to play it. I would like to see a couple weeks with both these offenses to really gauge what I want to do. I like Bryce Young over 199.5 passing yards. It's minus 1.
That was my
I took a
second play.
peek at that.
Minus 110-ish. I think he can.
That's very low.
I think he can crest 200. It's one of those field plays.
Why not parlay him, Corey? Little over
Why not?
completions,
Why not?
over
Why
yards.
I mean,
Fans are
finishing-
speculating.
I'll take my 1 unit on the yards, and that's it.
Finishing off this segment on Panthers Saints, kind of a weird game. I'm with you, Brant. Panthers plus 4, 1 unit play for me. Panthers hired Dave Kalakis, and here we go. I know it's Canales. It's just funny. He's here to save the day for Young before it's too late, and he's a bust. This team can't look more different this year, not to mention what he did for Baker last year. Completely 360 from a potential journeyman, to now sign a $300 or $100 million contract. I'm shocked that the Saints are even taking money in this game. They're gross. Brant touched on it. They're behind schedule. The team is just gross. I just don't.
Worst coach in the league.
I just.
Sean Payton left them
I
in
mean, I'm
shambles,
telling you
bro.
what. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen
Allen.
is the
Dennis
first
I mean,
coach fired this season.
I like that bet on a lean on. Shit, you slipped my mind again.
Dennis Allen?
Dennis to be the first coach
Yeah.
fired this year.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't be surprised if Panthers win this outright. Also, just a lean to the under for me. We're gonna move on to keep this thing rolling because we're over an hour here.
That's all right.
I
First
know.
one. We're just let the boys.
I know. I'm trying to. I'm gonna be the moderator.
I have a
I'm
big
keeping,
spiel on
I'm
this game.
keeping it flowing. I got a big spiel too.
I
That's
also
why I'm
have a
moving
spiel.
on.
Vikings game?
Yeah.
Vikings on the road in New York.
I can go
Lane,
fast. I
Lane,
can go fast.
1.5,
And
minus
be
110, over under 41, shaded to the over. Corey, go right ahead.
Yeah, you just give me the Giants. I don't
Wow.
believe in Sam Darnold. I don't believe in Sam Darnold whatsoever.
Wow.
Daniel Jones gets a lot of hate. I think it's one of those things where he gets the hate and then he kind of shows really what he's all about in the regular season. I like the Giants. Give me the points. It's pretty much
Giants and the
set in
points?
stone.
Or you're saying 1 unit on the Giants plus 1.5?
Yeah, give me the points.
Okay.
Plus
Let me
1.5.
let me run on this real quick. Just real quick.
I'm the opposite of me. This would be awesome.
Absolute fan of the Giants here. I think this is a bad line for Sam Darnold, who people are forgetting we're coming off a Shanahan offense here, and he showed glimpses of good stuff. But his whole career, he's been a bust to me. We'll see. Keep it simple. Danny Dimes revenge tour. Malik Neighbors is a superstar in the making, and we got Devin Singletary, who's coming off a 1,000-yard rushing season. O-line is still a questionable spot to me. I could see a lot of sacks in this game. But I am going to lean, not bet this Giants plus 1.5. Like the value. Could turn into a unit play. Go ahead, Lucas.
I'm gonna bet the fuck out of this shit. I think the Vikings are so fucking overrated. The way people are talking about the Vikings. The Vikings suck. This team is bad. Giants are completely undervalued. Daniel Jones gets way too much hate. Brian Daboll gets way too much hate. Year from hell last year, they were fucking starting. Who the fuck?
Ouch.
Who the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Exactly.
Tony.
Yeah.
You know, the
Tommy
guy.
DeVito.
Tommy
Tommy
DeVito.
Yeah.
Tony.
Maybe-
Tony.
This is the sick to your stomach pocket fattener pick of the week. It is Giants plus 100 money line, 3 units on that.
Wow.
2 years ago, these two teams played in the playoffs, and the Vikings were a sizable favorite in that game. Giants went in there and beat the fuck out of them.
Danny
Beat the
Dimes
fuck
looked
out of them.
unreal in that game.
Brian Daboll, Daniel Jones when he's healthy. I don't see how the Vikings are covering Neighbors. I mean, and talk about just bad vibes offseason for the Vikings. Addison with the DUIs. They have a guy, their rookie, die in a drunk driving car crash.
Rest in peace.
They just
No
had
jokes on
another
that.
one. Yeah, no jokes. This is just bad vibes. And they have another corner go down with a torn ACL 2 weeks ago. Just came out. Brian Daboll's taking back play calling duties this year. People forget this is one of the best play callers in the NFL. I love the Giants in this game. I love the Giants year long, honestly. Not going to put anything on them to make the playoffs or anything, but just I think the Giants are very undervalued because people love to dunk on the Giants for sucking last year because New York fans were going too crazy with the Knicks and the Giants winning the playoff game 2 years ago. Giants are getting a lot of shit on them. I like them this year, and especially in this game. Give me Giants plus 100 money line, 3 units.
Like it.
Finster, Brant, and Corey. Or no, Finster then Brant. Excuse me, Corey.
All right, yeah.
I don't really have to go too much in depth. You guys have already kind of said a lot about it. So I don't have a play on it, but I do lean the Giants as well. I think they're very underrated in this game.
Brant?
I'm playing unit on the Vikings minus 1.5.
And I couldn't agree more.
UKFC stands.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell had with Nick Mullins at quarterback and not Justin Jefferson playing, the offense was still 20th in EPA.
Unbelievable.
I think he could get 6 of us out there at the skill positions and still put up good numbers. So I'm playing Minnesota minus 1.5 for 1 unit.
Yeah, Brant said it first. I'm a 1 unit Vikings minus 1.5 backer. Vikings are another team I'm looking to back a lot this year. O'Connell is the man. He's cooking up with Jared Hall and Nick Mullins. Now Sam Darnold, full off season. Justin Jefferson, fully healthy, ready to roll. This team is going to surprise a lot of people this year, including you stupid fucks. Vikings minus 1.5, 1 unit play. Also, I don't know why anybody didn't catch this. You guys are lacking. Malik Neighbors over 58.5 receiving yards, 1 unit play. This is the guy.
Is coming back later for me.
I wanted to
This
see.
is the guy who is going to have a 33% target share in this offense. Best receiver in his class if it's not for a guy named Marvin Harrison Jr., generational talent. Neighbors will be the focus of this offense this year. I expect him to have a huge year for the G-men. Any other remarks on this before we move on to Broncos Seahawks?
Nope.
Broncos Seahawks. Broncos on the road in the 12th man. -6 at home for the Seahawks. Broncos catching 6 on the road. Over under 41.5 shaded to the over. Broncos fan Luke Schultz, take us away.
Yeah, I'm really struggling with this game. I don't got any official picks. I think that this is the easiest you could ever get with Seahawks here, but also Sean Payton with a year to prepare against a rookie head coach. I'm not putting anything on this, but of the 4 o'clock games I'm seeing here, I'm pretty locked in on this one. I think this is going to be a great game, but I'm not nothing official. I can't get a read on it.
Hey, Hunter?
Yeah, easy peasy for me. Let's go ahead and lock in over 41.5, minus 112, 1 unit.
That was the one thing I was waiting on.
So Broncos defense allowed 24 points per game last season, and the Seahawks allowed 23.6 points per game. No real key additions here, but I expect guys like JSN. I am not a Geno Smith believer. I'm a Sam Howell guy thick and through, and I believe he will take that starting position by the end of the year. Same with Rattler in New Orleans. But my lean here also, I'm going to go JSN 40-plus yards at minus 140. I think DK Metcalf is still the star of the show, but I think JSN, as he's going to get better, just like he did in college, is going to get better year after year after year, and eventually may even take that over. And 2, I am a huge buyer on this Broncos offense. Huge. I think Bo Nix was the most NFL ready. Me and Brant kind of touched on it here. Obviously, he's looking for his Heisman watch this year. But expect to see a lot of Javonte Williams. I think Javonte Williams anytime touchdown also is good value. But I think it's pretty simple for me. Let's go over 41.5. Game finishes 33-27.
Who's Bo Nix throwing to?
Brant, Finster,
Well, it's,
you want to
Owen's
touch
son.
base on this?
Marvin
And Javonte
Mims.
Williams and Marvin Mims.
Marmon.
Brant,
I'm
then
going
Finster.
completely opposite of what you said because I think that I'm really fading Bo Nix, and I think that Seattle's tough to run against, and I think Javonte Williams is not going to find much room, and it's going to be a lot of first down run, second down run, third completion. So I'm playing Seattle minus 5.5 for a unit.
It's 6 now, Brant.
That's fine. I'll take
Okay.
that.
Finster?
I don't have a game lead on this. I believe in Bo Nix more than a lot of other people do, especially with Sean Payton. I think he's a good coach, especially a quarterback coach. And the guy's comparing a lot to Drew Brees with quick release. So I believe in Bo Nix, but that's not my play. I'm going with Kenneth Walker anytime, minus 105. How bad the Denver rush defense is pretty terrible.
I like that.
155, I think, rushing yards per game last year on that defense. One of the worst, bottom 5. I'll take that. Kenneth Walker anytime.
Great
Corey?
preseason run from Bo Nix as well. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, this game fucking sucks. Give me the under 41.5.
I'll wrap this up here. I gotta play 1 unit play. Seahawks minus 6. Pair me with the Bills minus 6.5. 6-point teaser. That's a 1 unit play for me. Minus 120.
So Cowboys and who plus 6.5? And
No, wait. What? Just stop talking.
You have 2 teasers.
I have 2 teasers. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cowboys. I'm not backtracking here. We're going forward, not back. Bo Nix gets the nod at quarterback for the Broncos as a rookie. Couldn't have a worse matchup going on the road to Seattle. It's going to be a rough start. Like we touched, no weapons. Cortland Sutton's the guy who's been downhill for the last two years. I'm blanking.
Had like 7 different quarterbacks.
Hey, and now he's on his 8th. So here we go. No real weapons as a rookie quarterback. Recipe for disaster. Bo couldn't get a worse starting spot in Seattle against new Seattle's head coach Mike McDonald, who is, as we've touched, a defensive dog. Seattle is also my knockout pick this week. Let's go Seattle. Also, 1 unit under 41.5, same as mentioned up top. Mike McDonald's a really defensive head coach. Not too excited about the Seattle offense this year. I know they have a new OC, but I'm going to have to see it to believe it. I think Broncos struggle. So 1 unit under 41.5, 1 unit on the Seahawks minus 6, Bills minus 6.5, 6-point teaser. Moving on, and I'm going to start this one out because I don't have anything for this game. LA Chargers, or I should say Las Vegas Raiders with a home game here in LA. Chargers minus 3, minus 112. Over under 40.5. Shaded to the under, minus 112. I got nothing on this. Game's ugly. I mean, it's gross. Jim Harbaugh's first game. It's going to be ugly. I lean Chargers in the under for this one, but it's just a lean for me. I don't want to even think about putting money into this game. Vince, there seems like somewhere you found an angle. Go ahead and take something here.
No angle on this game. I think both offenses
You
are
are
a
our
little bit
only hope.
underrated. Yeah, I think both offenses are a little bit underrated in the fact that who's even starting for this game? Honestly, at quarterback for the Raiders, do we know who's
It's
starting?
Minshew.
Minshew.
Yeah.
I think
Minshew and Herbert.
Minshew won the job,
Yeah.
so I think Minshew has a lot of
O'Connell's
weapons. But yeah, no really any leans or picks for this game. So
It's
I got
gross.
something on this game.
Yeah, I do too.
The Chargers are so overrated in this entire offseason. I mean, they get Jim Harbaugh, and we're just going to forget about all the roster problems that they have. I mean, they were in complete cap hell because of how bad their GM was, paying everyone. They were old and not getting anything new for the team. They have a great offensive line. They have no. I mean, we all know how I think about J.K. Dobbins, but let's be serious.
Gus
Jim
Edwards
Harbaugh
back
has
there.
been out of the league for how long? It took him how long to win at Michigan?
This is so much Ohio
Like,
State homing.
I'm
I
just
know.
saying, like, are we sure that just you get Jim Harbaugh and you go from one of the worst teams in the league? Now, I'm not diminishing how big of an upgrade it is to go from Staley, Brandon Stanky, to Jim Harbaugh. It's a big upgrade.
True or false? Jim Harbaugh is a Super Bowl head coach.
He's played in the Super Bowl.
He's
Corey.
not Super Bowl
Against
winning
Ray.
head coach, but he is
Yeah,
a
I don't-
visitor. He's a visitor.
Did I
He
say
was
winner?
high by.
Did I say winner? Did I say winner?
Okay, cool. I don't. There's a lot of guys who, whatever. That was the stupidest comment I've ever heard. Jim Harbaugh has been out of the league for I don't even know how long. Leagues changed, can we say, since those times? I would say a lot.
It's changed a little bit.
I don't think that he just walks in and the Chargers get to the playoffs. I think that's ridiculous. I think the Chargers made a lot of smart moves in the offseason to just cut bait with a lot of guys. They're going into a full rebuild. Like, this isn't like, I think the Chargers are closer to the Patriots than they are to the Chiefs. Let's be real. I don't think you get 9 wins out of that. I think the Raiders are not that good either, but it's like Connor said, gonna be a home game for the Raiders in LA. Give me Raiders +3, 1 unit.
Brant?
I agree with Luke. I'm playing Raiders +3. The Chargers, like, whether it's a good idea long term to get rid of those guys or not, the fact is that you don't have your 4 best skill players from last year on the roster anymore, and the idea that Harbaugh is going to fix the offense by just running the ball more and getting Edwards and J.K. Dobbins doesn't really excite me that much. So I pretty much agree with Luke here. It's just a fate of the Chargers. So I'm playing Raiders +3.
Corey?
This is very clear. It's the Chargers are the way better team here. You take them with the points. Chargers -3. Take it to the bank. All these guys are schmucks, honestly. Just ride with me. Ride with the Chargers.
Herbert didn't even play in the fucking. Herbert's been hurt.
He is
Quentin
hurt.
Johnston
Okay.
and Josh Palmer.
Explain to
and
me
Ladd
what roster's
McConkey.
better. How are the Chargers roster better than the Raiders roster?
The Chargers
because of
are
Herbert?
very clearly the better team.
Okay, all right.
Give me the Chargers. Give me the
All right.
points. -3. It's easy.
Who we, Finster, Hunter?
It's Hunter.
Yeah, I'll jump on this. I actually don't have a play in this game. I do have a lean. Two things real quick. I think it is. I don't think that people think enough about that. Jim Harbaugh's brother is John Harbaugh, Super Bowl winning coach. I don't think he's walking into this job not knowing what to expect or what to see. I think it's going to be the Chargers are going to be better than I guess Luke thinks. I don't think they will make the playoffs by any means, but
Giving
I
him
don't
credit
think
for his brother being a good coach.
I think he's going to come prepared.
I like that angle. I like that. Makes a lot of sense.
I think he's going to come prepared. I think he knows what to
His
expect.
brother's the coach of the best run organization in the NFL.
Awesome.
That's a funny way
Um,
to say Pittsburgh, but we'll keep going.
I think also Ladd McConkey is just going to have a breakout year. When you look at guys that are excellent in route running, the only one I'll give you is Jerry Jeudy did not turn out, but once again, that goes to the Broncos' struggles. But route running is the key thing in wide receivers, in my opinion, in the NFL, and we'll separate it. Look to see a Julian Edelman type guy, but my lean is going to be Zamir White anytime touchdown scorer. I think the
Julian
Chargers
Edelman famous for being really good out of the gate.
Ladd McConkey, Julian
Not-
Edelman, both
not-
have high
not-
numbers.
not even my bet. Zamir White anytime touchdown scorer. And any plus 165 just to lean. Chargers run defense sucks.
High motor on Vlad McConkey.
Finster,
Best
finish us
person
out with this
smarter.
awful
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Finster,
Sneaky,
finish us
sneaky,
out with
yeah,
this awful game.
He was,
I already kind
he
of
was,
went,
yeah,
but
he was the first one.
Sorry.
I would just also say though, that I kind of looked at the lines a little bit more. I lean a little bit towards Jay Herbo, 224 in passing yards, because everyone's freaking out about John Harbaugh coming in and just running the ball every down. It's the NFL.
True.
You're gonna have to air it out. That's a very low line. He hit that line 8 out of 13 last year. I lean it. I saw an official play, but I lean towards that.
Raiders defense is some schmucks too, right?
Yeah,
That's
they are.
very true.
Well,
Moving-
Harbaugh-
No, it's not. The
Moving
Raiders are great
on.
defense.
Moving
Not gonna
on.
last. 3
Moving
weeks.
on. Moving on. This game's interesting to me. Cowboys on the road in Cleveland. Cleveland minus 2.5, shaded to the 2.5 for Cleveland, minus 115 for the favorite. Over under 41, shaded to the under, minus 112. Finster, take it away.
This is one of those trap games here
Thank
that you
This
just
is a rat
You're gonna-
line.
th- I know where
This
you're gonna
is-
This
go,
is a
and
rat line.
this is
You-
the best pick. I know
you-
exactly what you're gonna say.
I don't have a play on it, but
Oh.
the Cowboys look as the better team going into this. I just think this is going to be a dogfight in Cleveland. I lean towards the Browns at home in this game. So I think they have a lot of things to figure out on offense in the run game. Zeke is very old. Rico Dowdle still hasn't proven to be a good running back yet. It's a trap. It's a trap play.
It's
to
a
go on
trap.
the spread
It's a
here.
trap.
I got
The
nothing
over
else.
is very
Browns
low.
minus 2.5.
Do what,
Yeah,
Luke?
That's Browns minus 2.5. It's that simple.
Is you got a
Browns
unit
win
on
this
that?
game. Yeah, Browns win this game.
Corey?
They're up minus
the
money.
trap is exactly what these two just said. The Browns
my
are
God,
the
dude.
trap play. You know how much hate the fucking Cowboys have going into the season.
lot.
Oh, Dak's not him. He's fucking unclutched. His fucking contract. It doesn't matter. They still have CD. They still have Dak. They still have a decent run game. It doesn't matter really. Give me the Cowboys.
You ran out of things to
Plus
say
10.
that they still have because they have nothing
Hey,
left. They have
hey,
Dak
Corey.
and CD.
They still have a great defense.
They have
Corey,
Jake
I
Ferguson
think
as
it's-
well.
They lost Dan Quinn.
Deron Bland, 6 to 8 weeks.
Teron Bland
Bro.
is a bum anyway. That was one of the most one-hit wonder seasons we've ever seen.
Corey.
Is Micah Parsons still not on the Cowboys, or is
Wait,
is-
Corey,
Congrats.
Van Der Esch retired,
Yeah.
bro. You gotta move him down your
Yeah,
rankings.
because Leighton Vander Esch with his fucking back brace
Special rookie
was
season, man.
really
Special
really
player.
good in the NFL.
Looks
His
like the
back
second
brace-
coming of Luke
player right
Kuechly.
Leighton Vander Esch is a bum. They have Micah Parsons, who is beyond the player that Myles Garrett is. Talk about
He's beyond TJ Watt too.
6-week Myles Garrett in the season.
Beyond-
he plays
beyond
6
TJ
out
Watt.
of he plays 6 out of 18 weeks, and everybody thinks Myles Garrett is fucking great. No,
Defending
Micah-
DPOY.
Yeah,
Look
defending
at his pass
DPOY
rush win
this year.
percentage.
Yeah, ask the greatest defensive player in the past 20 years, Aaron Donald, who should have won DPOY the past 5 years, and TJ Watt should have won 2.
Okay.
Hunter?
Yeah. Ugly game. I think this is going to come down to a typical Cowboys last drive, Dak Prescott choke. I'm going to lean Browns money line minus 135. And also, I might as well lean the under as well. I think it's going to be a close game. Myles Garrett, and I think one of the best kept secrets in the NFL when it comes to secondaries is Denzel Ward. I think CD's going to get his, but if you can tame him, not many other people catching the ball. Brandon Cooks, not a shot.
Brandon Cook.
Brandon cooked.
So I'm just gonna lean. I'm gonna lean Browns money line. No play in this game though.
Brant?
By the way, Cowboys plus
playing,
2.5 is 1 unit.
I'm playing a unit on the under for the same reason that Hunter just said. Regardless of how much you like CeeDee Lamb, if you match up corners versus receivers for these teams, it's Ward, Emerson, and Newsome versus Lamb, Cooks, and Tolbert. I just don't think the Cowboys are going to really move the ball at all. So I'm playing under 42 for a unit.
Yeah, just to wrap this up here, Cowboys on the road at Browns. I already had the 6-point teaser, Colts plus 2.5 with the Cowboys plus 2.5, up to 8.5 for both. That's a 2-unit play for me, minus 120. I hear a lot of talk about the Cowboys going to have a down year, but the real question is, are the Browns really good? Deshaun Watson, ever since he got his massage, has been extremely suspect. So I don't even know what to think on this game. I guess this is going to be a good game to figure out what these teams are made of. I lean Cowboys. I lean over as well. Next,
Big
I'm looking at it that way because
Deshaun. Oh, go ahead, Ty.
I was just gonna say that this team, the Browns, did very well with Joe Flacco at quarterback last year. I think the team's really good. I think I also do question Watson,
that's right.
but like Corey, you're kind of confusing me a little bit because you said Trap is the Browns, but you
No,
say the Cowboys are the better
Trap-
team.
The trap is the Browns. Taking the Browns. There's so much hate
They're
on the
covering points, and you said the Cowboys are better too.
There-
but
there-
the
there-
Trap-
can't say
there's
the Cowboys
much
are a
hate
better
on- There's
team
so
and that
much hate
being
on
the
the
Trap.
Cowboys this year. Everybody's out on the Cowboys. The trap is taking. The
I'm not
Browns.
on the Cowboys. I just
I'm
think the
so on
Browns
the
are a better
Cowboys.
team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The trap is being out on the Cowboys and taking the Browns week 1. That is the trap. You just got trapped. Laying the
I'm
trap
not.
on
I'm
you.
not taking this.
That
as a
is
You
play.
just
you are a
got-
stereotypical
Corey-
trap.
Corey-
that is
Hold
being
on
laid
a
out.
second. I don't have a play on it. I'm not falling into the trap. I'm just staying away from the trap. That's how you avoid the trap.
I think also too, Deshaun was hurt at second half of the season, and yeah, he hasn't been the same when
famously
he was
not
healthy in
hurt
there.
right now.
Yeah, famously not hurt. And a two key point thing, the Browns did acquire a new assistant coach in the offseason
Oh.
named Adam Stebbins, so I think it's going to be a real tough.
Fact, we
True.
did not account for that. We did not
And
account for that.
Shout out.
Fuck.
And Vrabel.
We're moving on. We're moving on. We're getting in the
God
weeds
damn
here.
it.
We're getting in the weeds. Commanders on the road in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay -3, -115, shaded to the favorite. Over under 44, shaded to the under, -112. Luke, go ahead and start us off here, brother.
Yeah, nothing for this fucking dog shit game. Glad this is the 4 o'clock slate.
Can I go
we're
next?
just gonna, but
Yes.
I'm gonna use this time to go through my two welcome to the league buddy parlays. We're gonna go bet against each one of the starting rookie quarterbacks. Titans, Bucks, Seahawks money line. You can get that plus 495 for 1 unit. Next
I like
one,
that.
the top 3 receivers in the top 10 all to score a touchdown. Marv, Rome, and Neighbors plus 2,099 plus
Whoa.
2099. 1 unit on that. So that's our 2 welcome to the league parlays.
Luke kills me.
Uh,
This is a welcome to the back to betting Luke throwing a unit on a 425 play. I mean, this is just welcome back to betting Luke.
I mean, I just rookie quarterbacks. You know what they are to the start of this. Start of the season.
Are you sure
Start
you
to
want a full unit though on that plus 450 there, or is that what we're doing? Or
plus 495? I want a full unit for sure. If we're gonna keep track of it, I want a full unit on the Titans, Bucks, Seahawks money line. That's a money maker right there. The Marv,
Guys got deep
Rome, and
pockets.
Neighbors anytime TD one. I'm just giving that for the people. If you're listening, you bet that you're gonna be out of your fucking chair.
Yeah, I
That's
want
all
to
I
say
gotta
that I both of those bets, Luke, and also that I missed this game when I was going through. I didn't realize it was happening.
Yeah, it's
so
the
I
grossest.
have nothing.
My notes
I'm
were ooh. That's it.
I didn't even see it.
Corey, you got
I'll,
anything?
Okay,
Huh?
go ahead, Corey.
This Bucks game?
Yeah.
This game fucking sucks. Give me the Bucks. Give me the Bucks -3.5. Very easy. Ship. it.
are those official plays? You gotta say official plays.
Yeah, you
not-
gotta say a unit.
One unit Bucks. 1 unit Bucks.
Hunter Finster.
I don't have a play. I am out of this game.
Yeah, I've got a sneaky play that I loved. I printed with this guy last year, Baker Mayfield. We're gonna go 250 plus passing yards at plus 250. We're gonna go ahead and put a unit on that. Baker
I actually like
averaged-
that a lot.
Baker averaged 234 yards per game last year. I actually see this being a shootout. I don't think this is going to be a runaway game. I think
I
Jaden
agree.
Daniels is. I think Bucks defense doesn't
Hunter, you're
impress
hitting
me
all my
anymore.
points. Yeah.
And then I think also we're forgetting they have arguably the most consistent wide receiver, one of them we've ever seen. Mike Evans and Godwin didn't go anywhere. Jalen McMillan, look for to see him in the slot. And then, Baker finishes the 4K pass this year. I don't see him changing any different. Baker 250 plus, 250, 1 unit.
I actually love that, Hunter. You stole a lot of my points here. 1 unit play for me over 44. Commanders obviously draft Jaden Daniels, huge pick for them. They also get Cliff Kingsbury, comes back from his beach vacation, put down the Mai Tai, and comes into a great situation in Washington.
Famously great offensive coordinator.
Famously great offensive coordinator. Definitely better than Ron Rivera and Eric Bieniemy calling plays. So let's
No disagree
take a
there.
step back. Okay. Washington's gonna be a huge chase team this year with the bottom 5 defense. It's gonna be a wild and fun offense to watch. As for the Bucks, they lose Davis Kalakis, huge blow for them, but they also lose pieces
New
on their
York Times best-selling author
David Kalakis. Bucks also lose pieces on defense as well this year, so I think they take a step back defensively, which plays in this over super well. Give me 1 unit over 44. 2 prop bets. I don't know how we're missing these prop bets. These are such good bets.
I don't do prop bets.
Jaden Daniels over. They actually went up 3 rushing yards. Jaden Daniels
the rushing.
over
Yep.
40.5 rushing yards. 2 unit play for me, just like Caleb
a lot.
Williams.
It's a lot, dude.
W bet.
Damn.
This is
I'm
going off
not
the
taking
same
that
idea,
one.
except
Brant,
this
you're
guy.
still muted, by
Hold
the way.
on, wait. Let me make my point here. Same deal here as Caleb Williams, but this guy happens to run a 40-yard dash. This is a bet I have been waiting on. I've been thinking about it, just like Kyler and Cliff. Cliff will be using Daniel's legs a lot to make this offense work. 2 unit play for me. Daniels over 40.5 rushing yards. Secondly, Eckler over 20.5 receiving yards. 1 unit play for me. This seems low to me. There's been a lot of talk about Eckler getting slot work. Obviously, Brian Thomas is going to be the first down, second down guy. He's going to get the third down work. I could see this being over 20 yards easy. This is probably the cheapest this number is going to be all year. 1 unit Eckler over 20.5 receiving
Brian
yards.
Robinson, I might add.
In week 8, when Austin Eckler's over under in receiving yards is 7.5, please come back to me.
7.5. Oh Jesus!
Right.
Then why even pay the guy freaking 18, whatever hell, 12 million, just to come over here and hang
but
out?
I like,
Come on now.
Once again, our famous
Follow the money.
hypocrite here, Luke Schultz. His big point: why do they pay these guys?
Why?
They will
For
use
fun?
Austin Eckler.
Yes, they will.
I like Eckler this year. I'm not hating on
It's
Eckler.
comical that
I'm
you're
hating
not going to
on it.
use Eckler.
I'm hating.
I thought what Corey said was funny. I'm not.
2
I'm
more
not-
plays,
okay.
2 more
I'm
games,
All right.
2
Label
more
me
games.
hashtag Austin Eckler hater. That's
I like that. It's
Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football. Da-da-da, da-da-da. LA Rams on the road in Detroit in the Motor City. Rams catching 3.5 on the road. Detroit laying 3.5 at home. Shaded to the 3.5 here. No surprise, minus 112. Over under 50.5. The highest total for the week. Shaded to the over, minus 112. Finster, this is a U game if I've ever seen one. Go ahead.
You guys go ahead. Actually, I'll be right back, and then I'll come back to my place. So you guys
Corey,
for
go
a
ahead.
second.
Okay, so you will see this game coming up in my whale play, my best bets of the week. I don't want to say anything right now because it'll be the same bet. However, it'll be very soon. You can.
All right,
Hold
I'll
on.
go. It's
Okay, Luke.
Rams
All these
plus
fucking,
3.5.
all this
1
fucking
unit. Give me Rams plus 3.5. Let's just remember the playoff game
Yeah.
not too long ago. These teams just played each other. Rams probably should have won that game. Not taking anything away from the Lions in the great season. I still like the Lions this year, but I think McVay is still the best coach in the NFL, especially now that Bill B's gone. Just give me the Rams plus 3.5. I think Stafford's healthy. I think Puka is maybe healthy. Kupp is for sure healthy. Kyron's healthy. They've got some studs on that fucking team. Offensive line is a question, but I'm not worried about anybody on that Detroit defensive line. Aiden Hutchinson is the most overrated player in the NFL. Fuck him. Rams plus 3.5. What do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fun
man.
game. Fun game. Goodell did good with this one. I'm just gonna say it. I think Rams are a sneaky Super Bowl contender coming out of
Yep.
the NFC.
Yep.
I think that offense is still very high powered. Kyron concerns me. I don't know why you draft a guy like Corum, and then put him at punt. But simple play here. I was talking to my co-podcasters here, Luke and Brant, before this, giving me 2018 Rams Chiefs Monday Night Football game vibes. Locking in over
That was
50
a
and
Thursday
a half.
night game. Wasn't that a Thursday night
I
game?
believe that was a Thursday.
That was a Thursday night game. Color Rush.
Okay.
Mustard
Okay,
ketchup.
thanks, Corey. Yep, so we'll go over 50 and a half, minus 112, 1 unit. And then I absolutely love this line. I think it's kind of comical. Puka Nacua 70+ yards at minus 115. I think he's going to have his. You could go any 3 of these, or any 2 of these guys. Kupp and Puka are both going to eat.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to eat in this offense. This is a same game parlay prop. bettor's dream. This game is going to be fun. I don't think it's going to be a bad matchup either way. We're going to see a lot of points, a lot of shootouts, over 50.5.
Are you worried about the
Uh,
Lions upgrading the DBs at all?
No, not in the
Put,
slightest.
put
It's
me
Matthew
down for a
Stafford.
unit for that Puka Nakua bet too. I like that a lot, Hunter.
Thank you.
Brant,
Thank
go
you.
ahead and piggyback on this.
I'm
so you
gonna
already
I'm
mentioned.
gonna throw a lob up to my boy Corey because I'm hoping that we have the same huge. I'm going 3 units on Detroit minus 3.5 here.
Wow.
Wow.
Luke says he's not afraid of anybody on Detroit defensive line. Did you forget they added DJ Reader and they were all third against the run last year? I think that the Rams' entire offensive scheme is based on being able to run the ball from under center and all built off play action off of that. And I think they'll be playing from behind, which is Puka Nakua bet. But I also think that the Rams are going to really miss Aaron Donald and that Detroit's going to be able to run the ball. And so I'm playing Detroit minus 3.5.
Did we forget about the 2 big boys at FSU they just drafted?
Yeah, I did because I don't know who those.
Big D tackle and then the DN. What was his name?
And they're gonna be. They're gonna.
Don't worry.
Aaron
FSU
Donald.
has DJU. The boy.
All right, Finster, Corey.
Or you can go ahead.
I said this is going to be part of my will play, so I'm not going to.
I see. Finster.
I don't have any plays on this game. I looked it up
Wow.
before I left, but I just don't. It's game we played. They played last year in the playoffs, so you kind of see how they're going to play each other a little bit. And then at 23-24, Puka Nakua went for 181 and a touchdown. And this is the craziest stat I've seen in a while. Matthew Stafford 367 in that game passing yards, which is insane. His number in this game is also inflated at 275 passing yards. I kind of lean under there. Amon Ra had a big game.
I would say Matt Stafford's sneaky MVP bet this year. Just
Love
out
it.
there.
For the value, I love it.
It's
See, I
just
think you can't base too much off the last playoff game because Aaron Donald was playing in that
Exactly.
game. Not playing. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just talking about Matt Stafford airing that motherfucker out this year.
Right. Detroit got better on defense, especially in the secondary too.
No, 100% Detroit
Yeah.
got better on the defense. 100%. I still
Yeah,
see
Josh
Sean
Kuda's not out there anymore.
Sean McVay versus Dan Campbell is Coffee
Fun.
Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb.
Love it.
I'll round us out here. I got nothing. I have Lions rated higher than the Rams in my rankings to start the season. I do like the Rams at the 3.5 in prime time. I just can't do it. I mean, on Brant's points, I mean, you lose a first ballot Hall of Famer in Aaron Donald on a defense last year that overperformed and was rated bottom 10 in the NFL, overperformed grossly. I
They
honestly
lost,
think
the coach.
great. I think, and they also lose. I was just about to touch on that. Raheem to Atlanta, right? So you lose your head defensive coordinator. You lose your best defensive player. Rams take a step back this year. I'm selling all my Rams stock and dishing it at a double discount price, and I'm buying Lions stock at a triple advanced leverage position. Nothing on the game. It's a gross spot. I could see Rams keeping it close and winning this game. Not winning this game, but covering the 3. And Detroit winning on the 3. So it's a pass for me. Anybody want to make any points in Sunday night before we move on to the Monday night?
That's why
Bam!
you don't like the number because the Rams
It's just the
offense
number.
is probably going to be so good, but I really think
It's
they're going to
just
have a
the
hard time
number.
running.
I
against
honestly-
the Lions.
Also, though, like he threw for 367 and they lost that game still. So I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
how did they
It's gross.
get better? How did they get better and win?
Yeah.
I actually, before we get to that Monday night game, I have to head out. I have to go to work. So it was a good first podcast, boys.
Do you have any bets on the
can't-
Monday night game?
I don't. So
Okay.
that'll help out a
Finster,
little bit.
thank you.
I will put them all in the Excel sheet and all your ridiculous plays. Some of you guys. I'll see you guys later.
All right. See you
See you
later.
later, Finn.
So last game of the pod, it's been fun. We definitely got to find a way to condense this down. 2 hours is ridiculous, but I love it. This is the
You said
extended
30
cut.
minutes,
This
so-
is the
When you said
extended.
30 minutes, I was
This is the
ridiculous.
extended version. I
Under
like it.
2.
It's
Under
yeah,
2
under
is
2
the
hours
main
is
goal.
is our goal.
Under 2 is the main goal.
Last game, Jets on the road in San Francisco, across country. Can't stress this enough. Long flight for the Jets. Catching 4.5 on the road, shaded to the plus 4.5 for the Jets. San Francisco minus 4.5, shaded 105. Over under 43.5 shade to the over minus 112. Corey, go ahead and take this one to the finish line.
Give me the Jets.
Yep.
Very simple and easy. Give me the Jets
Yep.
plus 4.5. Niners Super Bowl hangover.
Yep.
I don't think they're very good.
I also am going to piggyback off of the whole Jets thing. Can't overstress the upgrade that the Jets did to the offensive line this year. It's monumental, mountain moving. They bring in Tyron Smith. They trade for whatever his name is off the Ravens, Moses. Bring in two bookends on the left and right side. Rodgers gonna have to. We'll see with Rodgers. We'll see.
Listen,
I'm
he
truly not
he
worried
just has to
about it.
throw the ball, like 25, 28 times a game,
Not
and
worried
just
about it. People are off.
that's it.
People are off Mike Williams. This was a guy who
Bum though. Mike's
everybody
a bum.
loved. He got hurt again last season. He'll probably get hurt at some point this season. As long as it's not tearing an ACL or an Achilles, it's whatever. Mike Williams on the outside with Garrett Wilson, that is scary for defenses. And when you have Brees Hall coming out of the backfield, who, if McCaffrey is coming into the year hurt, is the best back in the NFL. This is a scary, scary offense paired with the best defense in the league. I have questions with Robert Saleh, which is why I'm not all the way there with the Jets. But I think week one with all the IU holdout, Big Trent just got paid today. He's
Yep.
been not practicing.
3 years.
Super Bowl hangover. McCaffrey didn't practice. It's fucking Brock Purdy. Give me the Jets plus 4. I think this is a pretty simple play. Jets plus 4. Believe the hype. Let's rock.
I'm going to go real quick because I'm on that train as well. All 49ers offseason drama makes me want to barf. It's like a Barbie doll commercial. I have 49ers ahead of the Jets in my power rankings, though. But with all the holdouts and everybody not really practicing, I see them
4
getting
points.
to a slow start. This line was actually 3.5. Now up to 4.5. I'm going to 1 unit Jets plus 4.5. It was down. Yeah, they're at 4.5 now.
Yeah, give me Jets plus 4.5.
Yeah, 1 unit play. Hunter, then Brant.
So real quick, the line is 4.5 at FanDuel, but it is 4 at Caesars, it's 4 at William Hill, it's 4 at DraftKings, and it's 3.5 at Bovada.
It's 4.5.
I
on
got
DraftKings.
4.5 on DraftKings.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only one that it's 4.5 that I'm seeing though. Everything
We
else
love
is
that.
lower than that.
We love that. Value.
Yeah, we'll take.
That's why we're on the DraftKings books, not sponsored, but will be soon. Thank you.
Yeah.
So any play for you,
Well,
Brant, on
Line
that?
Chasers podcast brought to you by Blue.
You got any plays, Brent, for this game or not?
No, I mean I lean Jets just as a fade of the Niners, but the holy trinity of Saleh, Hackett, and Rodgers keeps
Yeah.
me from putting any money on the Jets. so.
Tough. Hunter, round us out. First podcast, baby.
Yep, this is my whale play actually.
Wow.
This to me, just to preface this, I'm not buying on this Jets hype whatsoever.
Wow.
Not scared about any of these holdouts. Ayuk just had a press conference today where he said he actually put the blame on this holdout on himself. I think that's humble. I think that's going to go a long way in the locker room. Trent Williams doesn't need to practice, doesn't need to play.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's
The
like
best left
34.
tackle,
He's
best left
36.
tackle in NFL history. You're looking at the best left tackle in history. I think this offense is still very, very lethal.
Go ahead.
No, it's just somebody's always saying something. It's pretty easy for me. Well play of the week is CMC anytime touchdown, minus 165, 3 units. Eat all that juice up. CMC has scored week 1 4 out of the last 5 seasons. I also am probably going to put not a full unit. I don't know if we're doing the half unit shit, but I'm going to put a half unit on CMC 2+ touchdowns. He's done that 3 out of 5 week 1s at plus 340. I also think I don't think the Super Bowl hangover, I'm not buying that applies to a loss in this team when they need to win now while they're on Purdy's
Usually
contract.
applies to a losing team.
Once again, just let me speak my point, please. Every point I say. After that loss to them, I think it's a make or break season for them. They're not getting any younger. CMC's not going to get any healthier. This is their statement game for the year to set the tone. And also, let's think about how they started last year on Fizz Zaire. This is not a team that starts slow.
Desire.
The Jets
and
won week 1
Shanahan's
last
going to
year.
do it.
I hear your point, son, and I was feeling that same way. I just and now that this line's moved to 4.5, I'm on board. I think it's gone a little too far. That's just my opinion.
Well, it's just a lean. I'm not betting the spread. It's just
Right.
I think that offense is going to get theirs. I don't care about the Jets defense.
I don't think it will be
It's
four and a
gonna be
half by
fun.
tomorrow, Connor.
I don't think
the Trevor
so. I
Williams
think that's why we're gonna.
losing it.
That's
Yeah.
why we're doing this show on Tuesday, so we can catch the lines. LineChasers.com. Thank you for showing up. It's not sponsored by DraftKings. It's usually sponsored by DraftKings. Whale plays of the week. I'll go ahead. Caleb Williams over 16.5 rushing yards is my whale. Oppenheimer Jr. Nuclear. Turn the red key. Sit on the button and fart on it. Play of the week. Hunter, Brant, Luke, and Corey.
DMC anytime. Dolphins -3. And then I've talked myself in. I will be probably making a whale play out of Puka Nakua's receiving yards line.
My two are Carolina plus 4.5 and Detroit minus 3.5.
Corey?
It's a 2-leg parlay. You take the Rams and Lions going back to that. I'm taking the under 51.5 paired with the Cowboys money line.
Wow.
So give me 1 unit on the Cowboys plus 2.5 against the Browns. Give me 1 unit on this whale play, which is the under in the Rams.
Corey, whale
Lions,
plays are
and then
3 units.
whatever. I don't give a fuck. Whale play 3 units. Rams Lions under. Cowboys money line. It is, as of right now, plus 311. So throw the 3 units on in at plus 311. You'll make your money and then way more.
Luke?
Just to reiterate on the ones I already had, over 48 in the Cardinals-Bills game, and then Giants money line plus, what are we at now? Plus 102, both of those. Separate, not parlayed.
Awesome. Little bit of closing remarks here. Oh, actually, excuse me.
I have parlay of the week and
Bankroll
builders.
Bankroll parlay of the week. I'm gonna go first because mine is an absolute dogger of a parlay. Hold on one second. I'm pulling this.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pulling
Jesus
this.
Christ.
This immediate. This is a not a unit bet for me. This is a you put your mortgage on this. Okay, you take your mortgage payment and you pay off your house.
I hope you
Okay.
damn near. Okay.
You put your mortgage payment on this for the month and you pay off your house, okay? And then you call me and we all are on
You can pay-
ESPN, okay?
You
So
can buy 20 houses. with the mortgage payment on
here
it.
is my 11 pick plus 70,855 odds. 11 pick parlay, bankroll parlay of the week play. Chiefs money line minus 148, Eagles money line minus 142, under 41 in the Patriots Bengals game, over 48 Cardinals Bills, Dolphins money line, Falcons money line, Titans plus 4, Carolina Panthers plus 4, under 41.5 in the Vikings Giants game, under 41.5 in the Broncos Seahawks game, and under 42 in the Raiders Chargers. Plus 70,000 odds. You're welcome.
70,000 is your bankroll builder.
Yes. Because it's a
It builds
lot.
your bankroll if you hit.
Oh, do you have a bankroll or is that your play for the week?
I'm gonna
That
jump out
is
this window.
my
right
bankroll
I'm
builder
gonna
Okay.
jump
for
out
the
my
week.
window.
I'll make mine quick. I've got a parlay of the week that's not 70,000, and then I've got a bankroll builder, which should be an actual bankroll builder, not 70,000.
You're welcome. Thank you later.
Parlay of the week. I'm actually going to a same game parlay Thursday night football in Arrowhead. I will be going Derrick Henry anytime touchdown, Isaiah Pacheco anytime touchdown, Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown, Pacheco alt 50 plus yards rushing, Derrick Henry alt 50 yards rushing, Rashad Bateman 25 yards receiving. That is plus 3,500 odds. Like that one. And then bankroll builder. We're gonna go Bengals minus 2.5 at minus 309. You could probably even get that at a pick'em. And then I'm gonna go Miami Dolphins plus 3.5 at minus 293, which equals minus 130 odds. And then I forgot I had this, but I do have a long shot parlay as well. I have CMC 2+ touchdowns at plus 340. I have Jonathan Taylor 2+ touchdowns at plus 600, and I have Puka Nakua at plus 2+ touchdowns, and that is a plus 33,780 odds. And that is it for me.
Next.
You want to go, Brandon? Or you want me to touch on something?
I don't really have any parlays or anything. I just like T Bengals down inside the 3, and you could pair it with either the Bills down to 1 or whatever your favorite dog is up above 7. I'm gonna figure one of those out, but I don't have anything prepared.
Yeah, I got just one here. Me and Brandon talked about this a little bit before the pod. I'm gonna go ahead and take a same game parlay in the Titans Bears game. I'm gonna get Titans +4. Give me Caleb Williams and Will Levis both to throw over 0.5 touchdowns. Get that at
Yeah,
+480.
me
I like
too.
that.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
that.
in on that. I like that.
I like that.
What was
Each
that?
of them to
Matt?
throw at least. Each of them to throw it, so both over 0.5 interceptions
I got
thrown,
it.
plus Titans +4.
Yeah,
get that at
Levis was
+480.
like -140, and Williams was -1.
Yeah, I like that.
Both of them to throw a pick and Titans to cover the spread.
My bankroll builder, it's 3-player props. It's a 3-leg parlay. I do like Daniel Jones throwing over 175 yards passing. Vikings were the 32nd ranked defensive passing defense in the league last year. So give me over 175 passing for Daniel Jones. Give me over 40 plus rushing yards for Bijan against the Steelers, who the Steelers gave away 4.3 yards per carry against opposing running backs last year. 4.3.
Unfortunately.
Bijan gets 9 carries. That'll hit the over 40. And then give me Marvin Harrison Jr. 5+ receptions against the Bills. I think the Cardinals will definitely feed Marvin Harrison Jr. They're going to force the option onto Marvin. So Marvin 5+, Daniel Jones 175+, Bijan 40+. Bankroll builder, that gets you at +137.
Is that an alternate line on Daniel Jones?
They're all alternate lines. So
Okay, I
Daniel
was gonna
Jones
say
+1.
that's not as basketball,
Daniel,
is it?
yeah, Daniel Jones 175, Bijan 40, Marvin Harrison 5 receptions is +137 total.
Yeah, and my bankroll builder is the one that I touched on earlier with the rookie receivers Marvin Harrison, Roma Dunze, and Malik Neighbors all score a touchdown +209.
I like it.
All right, that's the first podcast. Closing
did it.
remarks here. This podcast will be every week. We're gonna trim it down. This is the first one. We're gonna figure out a way to get it a little tighter. Get you in and out of here.
I like Bengals to win the North. I like Steelers win total under.
After Sunday nights, we will be doing a reaction to this week's games. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. First of many. And hey, good luck with everybody in their bets this week.
Yep,
Thanks,
good
Mom
pod,
and Dad,
boys.
for watching.
Yeah, good
Sponsor
pod,
us,
boys.
Blue Chew.
Hey guys.